So don't feel people is not they own beef too, you know. Yeah. We on the ground report, we just have we challenges too. And just have to come out there and be very, very strong for you all. Continue to motivate you all, continue to teach you all, continue to bring the evidence and facts to you all, continue to tell you all that we all deserve and show you all don't be discouraged, don't get discouraged by realizing most of Trinidad and Tobago, like how they living, they really don't give a damn. While you, these concerned ones, that is a part of this great program, the Ground Report, understand you know, you're sleeping one eye open, one eye closed, you're there, you're studying, oi. Yeah, it's so much, and then the opportunities in Trinidad and Tobago is real, it really sucks. So nothing going on. You don't know how to make an investment because making an investment in this climate, they only could bust because nobody can work to really come and support you. They only really check. The other day I jump up and say, well, I can't rest. I said, let me go and see how if things really hard out there. I take a drive through St. James, dead. There are days where I know the place swinging, dead. I drive through the avenue, dead. Is only imagine Smokies and Bunyan the avenue closing early on a weekend. Early, I say with the Frankies, we're gonna have a little bit of people there writing. But real group of barely people on the avenue like how it used to be. I say let me drive through Crep. What's it? Crep alright, you go have the drive with people ting, but Crep dead compared to before. Because people not having. You do so, you drive through Arima. Well, oh God. Chagonas, oh God. San Fernando. What's it? I wonder how things looking down penal they made them right on this. I find out how 8.14 there or library if they same thing. You're judged by people entertainment, you know. You see Rowley entertainment. How much 50 million, how much 500 million in entertainment budget or something? Or 50 million. Oh God, he real entertained by why he tell we entertain Titan we belt. He entertained $50 million. Oh God, he get fat. Vey. Narayan Harrigan, good morning. Bujam John, good morning to you. Christian Reyes, good morning. Grace Caesar, pleasant, good morning to you. Oh boy. Nita, good morning. Let me say a pleasant good morning to 8 doubles and Roti out there in New York, man. Oh, Noel Brong, Guitar Brong, all of the you get the Ann lady outside. And my boy yes, I might pronounce his name wrong. Jimmy Ramcrit. Jimmy. Oh boy. Well, let's don't get up. So we had to organize and then now you watch to the EBC. Get our money to TV the elections. And everybody by passing that an impression on that. I ain't gonna lie. I on all I been straight to mobilize the people boy because when they come in power they go and ask the tax. property tax thing, they will. It have a lot of things that they really will do. But to do it, you gotta get in power. You gotta get in power. Some people say, hey, don't talk so. If you don't know, Rowley them is rats. You don't know there's thieves. You don't know them boy and them saving themselves. Them don't want to make a jail. They don't want silver bracelets. And you have access to billions of dollars. But you could pay a policeman, you could pay the EBC, you could do this, you could do that, you could bribe. Trinidadian like bribe, they like corruption. I show you how this thing, eh? You go let them in there to I go let them in there. That's what I'm talking like how them this talk, eh? I go let them in there and them come in power there to lock me up over my dead body. The feel is just so them now when they dance, pay me dance long time. We know the thief elections, we know the gerrymander boundaries. And some people say, boy, I see that machine there for the vote. I honestly believe the opposition are organized and mobilize and hit that thing very, very serious. Real serious. People will follow. Some people will say, you can't rig a voting machine. Well, boy, well done, Maduro, for becoming the president again. Can't rig it. Will win. You don't know it's the same people who Maduro them buy them already buy it. Yeah, we'll get up now. Biggs, good morning. Abraham, good morning to you. Hey, and rock pushers will pull down. Hey, Mohan, good morning. Oh boy. Prima, go sign, good morning to you. Oh boy. Hey, Naresh, you Dana. Good morning. Good morning. Mira from Princess Tong. And Jackman, good morning. Marvin Lee Davis, good morning, my brother. I see you for a few days. Hey, Ash, good morning to you. Since the beginning of time. Michael Khan, I see you yesterday. Hey, Peter. In a web of crime. Salams. Sam Lal Singh. Peter Sam Lal Singh, good morning. George, good morning to you. Sita Komisiyong, good morning. Selwyn, good morning to you. Balrupa Pleasant, good morning. But in the future, Selwyn Batis, good morning to you. LP, good morning. CJ, good morning. All religions will get together and pray. In time to come, when it is getting closer to judgment day. Hey, Samantha, good morning to you. Mentor, good morning. Matilda Rhodes, good morning to you. Lucifer will make a lifetime in jail. Hey, Tommy Roberts, Earth Explorer. What can? Good morning. Dollars and cents will no. Bernadette, Wally Bernadette, it's a pleasant good morning to you all. This, everyone will fight. Oh boy, oh boy. All don't forget to share. In the kingdom of the Creator, dancing to us with soca rhythm. Hey, Lachman, good morning to you. Ramnani. Lachman, good morning. Hey, Sharon Rampasad, good morning. Drakes, good morning to you. Hey, Indra Pinky, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Let me one more.
This guy saw 25 verses.
Tyra, R, Maraj, and all the Tyras. The Tyras say morning. Marilyn Ciceran, good morning to you.
All these things I sing to you will really happen for true.
Rosa Ali, good morning.
If to see these things come reality.
Kenrick Passat.
Be proper.
Andy. Man, I listened to you this morning, man. That's how it is, Andy. I can't leave up here, Andy. Leave my trucking business up here, Andy. At least I'm still safe driving my truck, Andy. Man, I come down there in my truck, man. I sleep in my truck. When I get up, the band are going to be right in front of my face, Andy. Well, I'm coming to know, Andy. Andy, no, Andy. Trinidad is in a mess, Andy. I can't come back there, Andy.
Going to happen.
Hey, morning, Colonel Prasad.
And so all who advise would see.
Hey, Sheldon Rhodes, good morning.
The West Indies cricket team will rise back on top. In time to come. On the radio, Calypso will jam non.
Oh, boy. Sammy, good morning.
Toboldan will win an Olympic.
Oh, boy. Nice. Alicia, good morning. Hey, Janice Andrews.
Yes.
Alfred, good morning to you.
Leaving some of us to mourn.
Jerome, good morning.
Friends we lost. And while Nadia took it.
Well, look at your names, all you seen. That is calling names of people who on YouTube too now.
Slavery.
Jesse, good morning. That YouTube day.
The British.
Like Hafisa, like Hafisa Di Mohammed, them die Facebook.
We have seen Hitler's contribution to history.
Zamid, good morning.
We have seen the rise of
Dexter, good morning to you on the wifey, man. Good morning, my brother. You ready to come out? Oh, boy. Alan, Hercules, good morning. Dennis C. Paul, morning to you and Johnny. Dennis, go say bad boy. The next one was plenty better, Lennox Smith. So, yeah, yesterday was plenty better. So organize it one time now. Yes, I know you're hearing me. That one dazzling too much. It blending in with you too much. Background color and you is the same thing. So give me back the background from yesterday. Yeah, shake your head behind me. Oh boy, yeah man. Shake your head behind. Right, so just give me the yesterday background. This one and you blending too much. You brown, them brown. So put on yesterday one.
Don't do that. Tell them for me.
Oh boy. Who am I going to say morning to Pinky already? Oh, who come on late? Let me see. Can, good morning to you. Darren. Edmund, good morning. Who else? Helen Ali, good morning. Who else? Crystal Fernandez. Good morning. I didn't see you yesterday. Stephen Young, good morning. Right. So yeah, it is all here.
Inventions like the chariot and the saber. The weapons that put Europe under duress. Mankind achievements.
Yesterday was real good. Just pon yesterday now.
His glorious moment. Mark the passage of time, but wait. In time to come, mankind will have
It's either that or you need lighting. You well looking fairy, invisible-ish kind of.
fortitude.
Oh boy.
Scientists.
Yolanda Cordner, you know, come on, girl.
Run.
Hey, let me check out the phone. Let me see who I need. Hey, let me say morning to all. Anderson Wilson. Morning. Yeah, Anderson Wilson. You wanted to talk early? Well, call early now. Let me hear. We're going in the beat them there. Yeah, they kill this one, that one. Well, I know you hear me this morning, you the wifey. Let me say morning to your wifey. And all of you on the beat them, because we know the play, know the box they loud, 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 loud. Good morning, teacher, and every one of you.
For this new millennium, mark my word. There was some strange thing going to what? Some of you going to live to see that.
Right, so anyhow, well, I see you, and Anderson Wilson, good morning to you, my brother. Oh, Miss Lorna, good morning.
That day when the right brothers, after tremendous horrors, got their little plane to soar, all of mankind stood.
Right.
Just like
All right.
that great scholar Benjamin
Let's
Franklin
make sure the lighting all right, but you kind of sticking.
discovered
To organize delay internet. Oh boy, Malcolm X, good morning. Miss Roadbrook, morning. Miss Laukita, morning.
give the
Ravi, aka postman.com, and all of you, a pleasant good morning to you, man.
but
And it's that Central here. Good morning.
a drink a rum,
Boise Macano, good morning to you, my brother.
drinking glasses, compared with what is still to come. In time to come, an asteroid will
Yes.
be
Kishan, good morning. Hey. Oliam. Mohans.
almost
Good morning. Pastor John, good morning. Yeah. Imam Kazim, all of you, good morning. Pundit Rafi, good morning to you.
plastic. Explorers will find El Dorado. Computers
Hey, Canon Nigel, good morning.
will begin to travel in time. Police will stop adultery and crime. People won't go to church anymore. And there will be
Hey, Lakwa, good morning to you, Nicholas.
will heal deaf
Adish, Ramnarayan, good morning.
in
Hey, Unika, good morning to you, man. Pagay, all of you. Darren Daniel, good morning.
Well, really good. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I really appreciate that. Nowadays, the things we see have us seen a wondering what will be next in the world of science.
Okay.
We have seen already the tacit acceptance.
Oh boy. Let me see where we go start off. Let me start off and take a little call. Oh boy, let me say morning to my co-host. Oh yeah, the calling, man. The calling. Oh boy, just now. Nice. Yeah, morning caller. Where are you calling from? What's your contribution on the ground report this morning? As the first.
Morning. Million, Andy. Keep up the good work. Andy?
Where you going? Look how you get caught. Look how you come and you get caught. All right, so look at me call. Let me just get two calls or so. Send all the voice notes, eh? And then let me go through the headliners and them. You know. Morning caller. Just now, caller. Just now. Wow. Yes. I'll get you there now, caller, I believe. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Morning. I want to ask Mr. Stuart Young, what is the relationship with Mr. Stuart Young and one Mr. Hope from concrete information, because I know Mr. Hope mother and father. Mr. Hope mother is from Trinidad and his father is from Barbados. What is the relationship between Mr. Young and Mr. Alleged there was an intimacy relationship between the both of them? I say no more.
The tongue was whiskey and brandy. That was when the Black Power caused big mayhem. We saw an island rise up just so from out in the ocean. But that is joke. I want you to bang, 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 bang.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Hey, hey.
With Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Lennox Smith, a pleasant good morning to you. What we have there in the headliners?
Of course, a pleasant good morning to you as well, my friend. Are you hearing me loud and clear?
Loud and clear.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Of course. Go ahead. Let me hear what you have to say before.
All I would say is, I hope I'm hearing you clear. I hope. So I don't know. I'm Mr. Hope that I'm here hoping that I'm hearing hoping you clear.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'm hearing you loud and clear, so that's a positive. But I cannot vouch for you. I can only vouch for myself because you are loud and very, very vociferous as well as audible. So if I am reciprocating on this side, well, it means that we have a perfect situation. And let's get on with something. Go ahead.
Yeah, but let me ask you something. Why Mr. Rowley always flying with Stuart Young so into boy? He always flying with Young. He just all over the place with Stuart Young. I don't know. The man rocking with Stuart more than he rocking with Sharon.
Well, it is clear that
I don't know, boy.
that Young is holding certain secrets, of course, and that was revealed pellucidly when, of course, in the presence of Rowley, he was able to say what he said in the Parliament, whether he was making a joke or not. The fact of the matter is that Rowley has been his mentor, and therefore, if he wants to claim that some kind of reduction of the penalty that he would have otherwise gained for that statement, then it means therefore he will reference his boss, Dr. Rowley. So I think that he's holding information, secrets, as some people may say, for Dr. Rowley, and that is as a consequence. And as I have always said, it's a criminal enterprise. So therefore, it means that therefore the players, the progenitors, those persons who are engaged, will have to have, of course, of necessity, have some kind of conspiracy of secrecy. And I think all of that is built into this relationship. Remember, he, of course, as a wild card, is the only one that also got a chance, besides Imbert, just now, besides Imbert, to get a stint at acting prime ministership. So it tells you that there's much, much more in the mortar than the pestle.
They believe they are holding bedroom secrets, as in not meaning both of them, because it's too long. But bedroom secrets, Rowley being a married man.
No, I wouldn't go that far, but I wouldn't go there, but I am pretty certain.
Rowley being a married man, and you know, when the out there, Rowley maybe has some other woman and think how they, must be, and Stuart know all the woman and them out there. They know sometimes you don't know, Stuart might know because I hear the education minister and he good. I hear all them ladies in the PNM love Rowley. So
now we talking.
I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is
if
some
he
of
is
them
so
MPs
holding
and them.
secrets of that nature as well, apart from the
Bedroom
others as far as
behavior.
government is concerned, yes. I am of that view. Yes, I have no difficulty with that, because if he's going with him more than anybody else, it means therefore, and we know that as ugly as he is, and only a mother would love that face, Rowley will of course engage in what I consider to be promiscuous activities, and of course Stuart Young would be abreast of all of them. Yeah.
You think them females and them in the PNM husbands getting on? I not saying with who or what. I just asking if it is. You believe them females in the PNM is honest women that will keep to their man and not give their body to no body with money or power and them thing, and they're just keeping themselves to themselves. Them ladies in the PNM, you think they have that type of discipline, or they have that moral turpitude, that sense of religious belief, or you say like how Manning they tell like how Robbie they tell Pandey, due to moral and spiritual values.
Yeah.
You think that moral and spiritual values there with the women?
No, it cannot exist in a criminal enterprise, and fortunately for us, we can consider it safe ground, simply because there was a recent incident where, of course, a senator had to vacate her post because of a similar situation, in that she was accused of bullying. She was accused, of course, and I have no doubt in my mind that infidelity would be one of the issues that cause, of course, the estrangement. They live in the same house, but they're not talking to each other, and when that happens, it appears to be a very antagonistic relationship. Based on what we have seen so far, I know the matter is sub judice, I know the matter is before the court, and she did in fact file some kind of legal threat in order to stop the people from talking about it. But the fact of the matter is that incident alone is clear evidence that that is just a microcosm of what is happening there. Apart from the fact that, of course, we know of the incident of that pedophile ring, and of course, and the fact that, and in my view, that Rowley's and his ministers' misogynic statements tending to, of course, decry and insult women. They see them as possibly sexual and other objects, at least of a lower rank than themselves, and to be brutalized and to be used whichever way, whether it be sexually, whether it be verbally, whether it be physically. So all of those would have to be considered in the matrix as we examine critically this specific aspect of the let's say in the upper echelons and the decision-making processes of the PNM. And I can tell you, it has to be stink, having regard, of course, to the recent viral of Stuart Young and, of course, his colleague Imsbert's statement. Of course, Rowley was there, and he was asking them, of course, what is wrong with you? I suspect that he realized that the mic was on, and why would you be, of course, exposing yourself to the public in that way? But the damage has already been done, and no amount of attempts to solve that problem, to
1 minute, brother.
Yeah, go
we
ahead.
have a caller on long. You forget
go
this caller on your movie.
Go ahead.
Caller, pleasant. Good morning to you. Sorry about that. We was just, you know the ground report. We go start to analyze. Remember, we grassroots.
Yeah.
We like to think. We just make with common sense. We just start to use with common sense, with the intelligence, with the experience. You understand? So that is what thing they call us. So go ahead.
Yeah,
Go
so
ahead.
no
caller.
amount of
Good
damage
morning.
control he could impose on this situation. But go ahead, caller. Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss La Hocketa.
And I know this is the ground report.
Yes.
This is the ground report.
One thing, you think them ladies and them in the PNM have moral and spiritual values, and they're not honing their husbands and thing? Or you think and the man's in honing their wives and everybody living a godly life? Or you think
Well,
right?
when they're doing it, sometimes usually, But what I want to say this morning, I want to join this morning with Eversley for coming out last night and trying to get Young to apologize. I want to join with him. He's the only activist I see when something goes wrong in this country, he will come out alone by himself. Right? Last night I saw him, he won.
Who's that? Who's that?
Obviously, he came out, he wants Young to apologize to the opposition leader of what he has said to her, and I think that is a right way to go. Young had to know that the opposition leader was a former prime minister of this country, and he's very disrespectful in the manner what he did. Not only that, in Parliament, just imagine you in Parliament, your mic on, and you saying what you have said to the opposition leader. No, I think he should come out and apologize to her, and I think that a prime minister of this country, he should come out and let Young apologize to the opposition leader, and we as women should stand on side, stand our ground on her side, because she's a woman, she's a mother, she's a wife and a grandmother too. We should stand for that apology. They have to apologize, because if it was the opposition leader, Dr. William then was about apology, get rid of them. So we have to stand up and give her standing ovation. We should stand up for the opposition leader. Just them talk out that and don't fast with yourselves.
All right.
He knows he's a young, he knows we need an apology. You need to try for a murder of this country with what you have said.
Okay. Oh boy, and y'all on Facebook
Andy, you know,
and
we,
YouTube, all you will see the observers there. It didn't get to change back to the ground report. So when it come up, it will come up as the observers.
Well, Andy, we will go behind the news. Do you have any opinion, because she just talked about Eversley there, and Eversley suddenly like a convert. He suddenly
Man playing himself in the game one time. He playing himself in the game there one time. So just in case the UNC is to win the next election, all the time he riding with the PNM, so he's spooning himself back in the game there easy.
He's smelling
yeah,
blood.
so Kamala, all the rest of activists and them.
Blood. That's what
When Eversley cussing the UNC all along. Eversley do so now. Right. So now the UNC activists and them gonna be, yes, look Eversley come on now. Yes, I like it. And now Eversley now supposed to be rewarded. So watch. The people who there long time that fight, like for instance, like the ground report, here fighting it, ain't turn nowhere at all. Just they fighting it, right?
It's a good
so
thing
now watch.
we know better and more than
again.
most. Yeah,
they ain't gonna say ground report again. Like many people is always do that. Then they ain't gonna say ground report. So as something emerge, just like how when Victor Roberts emerged.
Yeah,
Victor,
we discovered Victor. We discovered Victor and told Victor what his potential was, and then he turned out to be a disappointment.
Too.
Yeah, and Eversley as well. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So when Williams, Julia, Davey, all of them.
Yeah.
Dr. Philip Alexander used to be a part of we program.
Yeah.
But they don't understand our.
Yeah.
Many of the players out there now. It's what the ground report discover. It's the ground report bring them out there.
Yeah.
And then, look out to the trickery now. Right, so the boy come there. Stuart had to apologize. Alright, that's a big play. Media go run with that. Everybody go run with that. UNC people go be, yes, It was what at least either, right? So he like that. Boom. UNC win the elections. He after cussing the UNC for 9 years, he got smoothing himself in front of all the rest of people who take their gas. All the rest of people who come out there and walk and the dice of it is go.
And let me tell you
We
something.
and all those people, don't get tired.
Yeah, consistent with that.
Don't get tired.
Consistent with
Don't
that
even
trend of thought, Mike, Andy.
But when I see we get brush aside, the ground report always getting brush aside. But the ground report was there with Jack Warner.
Yes, it was.
Jack Warner do his thing. Jack Warner do his thing. When Jack Warner come back, hey Jack, the ground report the throw it to the side again. Gary was there too.
Yeah, we
The
rooted for
report
Gary
there.
to get the,
Yeah, we never mentioned it.
yeah, the commissioner of police position. Yeah.
Gary come back against the UNC boy.
Yeah.
Gary they come back. Hey Gary, boom, the pell the ground report again. And that is gone from Lucky. The only person I will always say that I believe is a good woman is Kamala, you know. I just fight because of Kamala too, you know. That woman is a good woman, and I really see the changes and the hard work and the maturity in Kamala Prasad business.
Oh, yeah,
Because she's
well,
was one that made me.
She is the oasis, if you want to call that, in that desert of betrayal and the persons who would,
Yeah, she is like us.
who would
Yeah.
because they get a position, would now ignore from where they would have begin or betray that which assisted them in getting ready. You know, there is a saying that remember persons on your way up because you may not have them on your way back down. And that has happened right through, of course. But the most recent, of course, is the entire trade union movement. We have carried the entire trade union movement on our backs, right? And of course, in more recent times, we carry the Calypsonians as well in their fight for.
Yeah, don't think Calypsonians. We carry all the burden.
So we have been doing that, and of course, pushback 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 have been, of course, classics in terms of resisting this government. And people became motivated, they became emboldened, and they began on their own volition to do their thing. The only person who became a disappointment to me is our friend in Tobago, who of course started this online. He said,
"What's new?"
Yeah, not what's new. We carried him as well, but the fellow
we
who
carry
wanted
him. We remember
yeah.
Campaign for Watson to be the president of the PSA, you know.
Of course.
And then when Watson reached there, Watson Duke and all turn it back and he go everybody.
And he made certain promises. He made certain promises.
Turn it back on the ground report.
But he made certain promises both at the level of PSA and at the level of THA. And I remember very distinctly when we met him at the Mandela Park. He said, "Well, listen, what he promised, he will put it to whosoever it is." But he's not optimistic. Of course, we told him that he should stay in Tobago rather than coming into Trinidad and spreading himself too thin. Well, of course, he didn't listen, and as a consequence, he's suffering the setbacks that he is now suffering, both in Trinidad and in Tobago. And I'm afraid that his ambition to be prime minister has been lost in one fell sweep.
In one way or other. But make it clear. When we act, is dealing with the profession, which is to bring out, pay the radio station. That time we on the radio station 104. Pay
to advance us, sustain where we are.
Bring out their message. Bring out their message.
Yeah, as a broker,
as communication specialist.
As a broker, as a clearinghouse, really. For the truth.
Clear that, because you know you're gonna hear people say, "You see." Them fellas and them jumping, man, money, no, partner.
No.
It's before we work. Before we professionalism.
Yeah, as a professional, I wouldn't even go there because the people must understand. By now, if they understand us, then they can understand us again. But you're quite right. Out of an abundance of caution, you say give some specifics as to what we are talking about, because we see ourselves as the clearinghouse for the truth. And if it is that the PNM and of course its colleagues, its institutions such as the traditional media have a very powerful propaganda machinery, then of course there must be a countervailing or counterbalancing where we stand in the gap to make certain that the truth gets out there, and as a consequence people can make true and real and what I consider to be rational and clear decisions in the interests of themselves and the society, and that is where we stand. So we are clearing house for the truth.
Nice, and at least I could say nigga here, right? Why? Yeah. Three niggas, yeah, we don't worth nothing. Well, yeah, rest me with that, yes, but understand. And then when you just hear Mikey saying Andy Williams is the man begging he not to talk out, you know. Don't get up in all, you know. The ground report is always the use, abuse, and down to within our own organization. It are people, I tell you, you know, it are people within the UNC itself fighting the ground report, you know. But we wouldn't talk, fighting the ground report. Why? Because we will shine in the Lennox play to the brother with the they know again one thing.
Because
we will overshadow them.
Yeah, because
go ahead, play it down here before don't nobody take my rock.
No, because we are constant as the Northern Star, and because we are immutable like a scent, we wouldn't change, and because of the goodwill that we have out there, not just in Trinidad, but across Trinidad and Tobago and the region and the hemisphere and the world, there are persons who believe that is an impediment to their own ambition and advancement. So they will try to trash and to slash and to condemn and to undermine and to malign either members of the team or the organization itself. But of course, at the end of the day, the litmus test is this. The acid test is this. They cannot do what we have been doing or are doing. Otherwise, they would be the ones talking to you at this point in time. So you utilize your common sense. And we are not prepared. I want to tell only that one time. We are not prepared. Whosoever it is have that ambition and believe that they can advance their ambition by, of course, maligning the ground report, we will tell you flat that we will reciprocate before we will complacent and we will leave it as it is. And Andy rightly said, even Jack Warner was the beneficiary of our initiative. Just as how we organize pushback and get the trade unions out. When Rowley and they were up his crow and he was out of the country, and when he came back, it was we who organized that reception at the airport. And I want to tell all of this too, that Mikey and myself was carried to speak, and as the thing grew out of proportion and people saw an opportunity, we were pushed out on that day itself, and we never got a chance to talk as the pundits and others took over, and of course the Shogunas West elements became the dominant factor, and we were left to go into oblivion. We are not going to be taking it on this. Ability is ability, and it will be a fatalistic mistake. If you have an ability, allow persons who are less qualified, are less aggressive, are less, do not have the potential and the grade to make it, and you stay there and say, let me say, no, I am getting older, Mikey is getting older, Andy is getting older, the program is getting older, and therefore we will of course call and demand for our pound of flesh at the appropriate time.
Oh boy, so some of you MPs and councillors and we are no threat. Alone. Don't malign we. Leave us alone. Don't out we light to shine all your own.
That's right. There must be reciprocity.
You don't need all we light to shine all your own. All your own will shine. We will help all your light shine. You understand? And that is the stupid kind of infighting were going on in various political parties, including our own. Watch out. The 5 MPs that turn and gone against Kamala and the party, and it's that kind of stupidness going on within the UNC too.
Yeah. Russian Parry was a tremendous benefit of the ground report. When he was literally unknown, because remember he was moving into the shadows of Gypsy, and it's we who went down to Miaro and have, of course, the outreach program. What we used to call it, the what we used to give it a different name. Yes. And,
Microphone.
yes, and he was extremely grateful. He was extremely grateful, yeah.
Eliminating we own Gypsy.
Yeah, for that baptism. And we gave him the baptism of a platform to, of course, expatiate, because he was unknown nationally at least, even if he was well known in the Mayaro area. He was known across the country, and we on the ground report created that environment for him to spread his wings, so to speak. And today we have seen, of course, our betrayal. Something, but even though to a lesser extent, with respect to our good friend, we have no beef with anybody, but we are going to tell it as it is, as of course was the case with who is now an alderman in the Superior, I believe it is, the Bay Regional Corporation, are talking about our good friend.
Roberts.
Yeah, Victor.
We bring out, you know.
Yeah.
Victor Roberts, we bring out, you know.
Yeah.
And at a point, he
I
famous.
remember Andy. I remember Andy. Victor Roberts. Yeah.
Because what? He walking with Kamala and he walking with Jolene John now, and all of them are wrong with the coffin. And the ground report inviting him to push back. He only come one push back. After that, he them fellas and them, because he gained the big lead. And all of a sudden, the Victor Roberts attorney back on we too. Understand? That is what we are accustomed to.
And I want to tell the population that this same Victor Roberts fella, with his team, would be coming almost every other day when we had our other office, not the one that I'm in now on George Street, but when we were on Park Street. And it's we who design and put the constitution together for that organization, which of course he used to, of course, capitalize upon in the name of the people of his particular area. All that advice and all of that output pro bono, not a cent, except of course to provide maybe gas for me.
I am getting older.
Yes.
Lennox Smith is getting older. Mikey K is getting older. And you see all your BS out there. Just let we walk and get rid of Rowley and the PNM. We not in all your stepping on all your toes. But anybody step on the toes the wrong way, we will let the people know of all your dishonesty and frivolousness and hate and insecurity, that nothing that could breed better than you all or might be able to assist you all to be better in what you all do. Don't fight it down. Don't lie on it. Don't do that. When I hear Mikey K again keep saying, I keep holding he back from talking. All right.
Yes, right. So this is our last tour. Of course, Rowley and they are talking about their swan songs.
Yeah, we can be concession Rowley and them and the government.
Yeah.
Because why? If there's one person don't think about like that, about the ground report, is the honorable leader of the opposition, Kamala Prasad Bisesa. That woman is a boss boy. You see she?
I remember Andy, you could attest.
That was not wrong. Plenty of them 2-2 and we, you know.
Yeah. Andy, you could attest to this. Remember we were in a meeting called, I think we asked for a meeting with the honorable leader of the opposition and leader of the UNC, Kamala Prasad Bisesa, Wayne Mark was there, and I think Dave Tanku was there, so they could bear us out if we are not representing what transpired. I remember I had cause to say, Madam, for the last year we have not received a cent for what we are doing. However, I want to make it very clear that our commitment is one of transformation, national development, and so on. And of course, there were other things that was discussed. But at the end of the day, she was extremely grateful, and she did express a certain kind of overture. That I can't share. But yeah. But we did that. I'm just endorsing what you're saying in terms of the consistency of Kamala Prasad Bisesa, and maybe if the dissident would have succeeded in their internal coup, who knows what status we would have had having regard to our experience. Yeah.
Them when they hear we by.
Yeah.
When we calling them for interview date, they want to know interview.
Yeah, but we would have continued. I want to say that. Nothing will stop us. But we would have had a more hostile, I suspect, a more hostile relationship with the UNC if Kamala Prasad Bisesa would have been ousted in the way that they had planned so to do, because it's clear the intention was, of course, to get rid of her.
But we see so much of people betray the UNC.
Yeah.
Was there what's me the well what's me there was like chunkulungs in the UNC, real chunkulungs, biggity dance, then they betray, and then they come back.
Yeah.
And the ground report just stay here.
I remember very distinctly a buxom or stockish woman who we learned later in the last days of the 2010 campaign. She went and, of course, was lurking in Kamala Prasad Bisesa's camp, and then she was made an alderman, and because she probably didn't get what she wanted, in short bursts, she came out and she said, and even just recently I saw her attacking, of course, an Ram sometime in some way in Chaguanas or Cuba, because she was so disappointed. But these people are not, you see, because they are not genuine, and they came in there looking for something, boasting suddenly, and I've seen it my own experience. Yeah, because I remember after the 2010 elections, Warner telling me, Smith, we made it. I say, right, fine. So I say, well, I get the recognition. Let's see what's going to happen. Next thing I know is he, as Minister of Works, walking with Abdullah all over Laventille and leaving me out. Only when he found himself in some problems, he then called me as a kind of emergency.
That's what
to set up,
reporters go through. That way we
to
go
clear the way. Yeah. Listen, to clear the way so that Kamala Prasad Bisesa could walk up to Beverly Hills. And true to form, I did go before and set a lady foundation. They gave me a set of miniature Trinidad and Tobago flags. And if you see me like a busy enthusiast as I walked the whole of the hill straight up from Picton Court right up to Beverly Hills, giving people flags and so on. So then when Kamala reaches, at least everybody will have a flag waving and so on. All of that we did. And I was supposed to speak at the court.
You was foot on foot with Jack just now, boy. I know you was foot on foot with Jack, but I don't remember. Refresh my memory there. Yeah. I can't forget that. So what? Jack didn't pull you to mobilize the people for Kamala to walk. He leave you out.
And when it was time for me to talk, he tell me, well, he go let me say something at the court when they assemble the court in order to make the walk. After I do all of that, that's my view. It may not be so, but that's my view. He just pretended that I wasn't there. That I was there. I mean, so we have had it from the very top to the middle and to the. But I'm saying that a person could take so much and no more, and therefore we have reached the zenith of our tolerance with that level of what I consider to be exploitation. It will no longer be and Lennox Smith in particular, I don't know about Andy and they, if they are strident as I am, but I am insistent that we are getting older, I am getting older, and therefore I can no longer afford that kind of exploitation.
Oh, all that is good. At least you all get in. It is good in a program.
Yeah, some of the background, yeah, in terms
it
of
is
our
very
personality
good.
and so on, yeah.
It's very, very good for you all to know your host in various ways. And knowing your host and them will give you all more encouragement when it coming to trust. So this is something for the first time we have done this. Mikey K is only to talk or Lego ball, you know. But again, we not about that, we about. But
if you allow Mikey to expatiate, he talk for days on that matter.
I just hear the man say, "Well, Andy holding me back, you know. Andy holding me back." Because that's just how it is. We just, on really and truly, we want a better Trinidad and Tobago. We deserve to live better. We believe hard work will always be the key to success. With thy sweat of thy brow, thou shalt eat bread. It is what it is.
And we are not suckers for punishment. We are not PNM sycophants in Lavantil and these places. We are not that. But we will tolerate. But there is a tolerance level, a shelf life, beyond which nobody ought to go further.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All you come and all you look on now. Look at nearly 600 of you are ready for the morning. And just now we will be on Dial the Caribbean.
They get it.
There's a lot of more people. Like I said,
information that they never got before as to the personalities behind the ground report, and I think that is very healthy, and of course it will make them be more stick-to-itive and more informed, and therefore trusting in terms of what we say. I think that this exercise is good therapy.
Very, very. Oh boy. So
and we didn't plan it, people. We didn't plan it. We decided to talk this morning. Yeah.
It just come out. Yeah, especially when I see Victor getting on, and then I see how this one you say get on and that one get on, and all of them just they saying Kamala this that bup, and when they do so they change the tongue. Oh, is FSC make that come out?
Yeah.
FSC come out. No one.
Yeah, FSC is a chameleon.
Look at this.
A chameleon. Comedian. A comedian. You know, like a 24 hours, he changes depending on the environment. Well, and a total comedian, because as far as I'm concerned, that is a comical statement that you would have made, even though of course it was in a significant situation. But I don't think that I could give it the kind of oxygen, the kind of cog that he would like, because we know him. You see, there's a difference between you out there, and therefore we didn't mind the caller speaking in the way that she has. Now that she knows what are the additional facts, I'm sure she would have a change of position, even though if it is slightly having regard to what we have just said. So we know these characters.
And you can't blame the man. Just like Port of Spain, he doing his work. Yeah.
No, but
election
he will waste no time. He will waste no time in criticizing us. Right?
Huh?
He will waste no time in criticizing us. Right? Where it may be mattered. Right? In order to have his agenda satisfied. And I think that crab in the barrel approach, we have a duty and responsibility not only to expose it, but to say it must come to its terminus. It must stop.
Oh boy. Rick M. Henry. Good morning to you, my brother. And don't get up and don't feel the people and them in their hundreds that are locked on now. Don't understand what we say, though. All the best of them, boy, that was the best. Then they do so that they're going to beat the UNC. Papa, licks. Relics. Tell UNC losing elections, then they go come back as heroes. Yeah! And then You go and report and go. You go and report.
I know one of them is a female. As soon as UNC win, vision too bad. As soon as the next election come in, vision too bad. And when, of course, the things didn't turn out for the UNC as the prediction was, as the prophecy was, they just disappear and then they resurface. I see them resurface now and having vision again. You see, I am a very pragmatic person, and therefore nobody could fool me in terms of a situation. When the NAR won the election, for example, of that year, decimated the PNM, it was because of the socio-economic and political environment that caused that to happen. But at that point in time, one person was taking credit. You know, by 1991, that same person was supposed to be leading the NAR. You know, they lost. Just, of course, the Red Beret or the Red Brigade claimer in Tobago. You know, she was saying all kind of things that is because of she, this and that and that. You know, when PNM lost, they just disappear. No. You rise to the occasion because of the circumstance. The circumstance now is that the UNC will obviously win the next elections, all things being equal.
That's fair.
Right.
That's fair and fair.
All things being equal.
But
the point I am making is that because that is known now, there are elements that are jumping on board just before that occurred. And we must identify their horns and say, no, that is a fake horn. That is a wolf in sheep clothing. That is a chameleon. That is an opportunist. And therefore, those persons must understand they have to wait in the back of the line in order to get their agenda served, because there are people who are genuinely wanted to make the UNC successful and succeed and stay in office forever, in my view. And therefore, those are the persons must now get the nectar, the first bite at the cherry, the creme de la creme, and of course at the head of the fountain, in order, because they have the party and the leadership at heart, and everything else will be handed down to those who have hidden agendas that are inimical or may not be inimical, but these people are the ones to share the spoils and to identify, so as the party itself could remain the force that we see it to be, in order in perpetuity to serve Trinidad and Tobago and to make Trinidad and Tobago the country that all of us know potentially and unreal it is capable of becoming. That is the big difference.
Nice. So Trinidad and Tobago, what's in your headliners? Don't have to be what it is we talk about. No. Don't. Let me bypass that now. You know, we just have to. You know, somebody just mentioned FSC name and that thing there. So hey, here it is. We just like we always have done. When people come and just that what we were talking about, we just continue to stay focused. Wanting a better Trinidad and Tobago, wanting to live better, understand we deserve to live better. And we just put on, we
must
like them
live better.
Blinders, and we keep focused to what is the problem. And the problem in Trinidad and Tobago, really and truly, it's not really them still, you know. It's the P&M. Don't say Rowley alone. We're not saying Rowley alone no more.
Yes.
As the defender they say.
Yeah, the
PNM. Problem is the P&M. Yeah. And we will continue to take focus on what is the problem, and the only way for we to get rid of our problem is to get rid of the P&M. The lines are open, Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, when you want to get rid of pigeon, you just mash up the coop.
Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang.
The number to call 225-6644, 225-6644, or 239-5120, 239-5120. Give us a WhatsApp call at 366-3053, 366-3053. Or send your WhatsApp voice notes Trinidad and Tobago, and the wider Caribbean, the world. When it comes into our country, what's your front burner? What's things that you discover that you believe need to make news that are not making news? What you believe that everybody needs to know that are not being talked about, whether it be by the PNM mainstream media or however. What's your contribution this morning? Let us know where you're calling from. And what's your front burner? My front burner I will always stick to the hospitals. Because breads, all are we around. You don't know when one of we go bounce with toe and need stitches. When one of we might have to do a surgery. When one of we might end up being a heart patient and need medication and can't get it. And have to use we pension to 2,000, 3,000 to just to live. And don't have the money to pay we rent because some of we have pension but we renting. We don't have money to buy food. Wait. Everybody has an issue. Some of you issue, like my issue now too, is that property tax. I not paying no tax unless everybody paying tax. Commercial have to pay tax too. Agriculture properties have to pay tax too. Ready? Hell are they telling me pay tax on my house? When Sabga and all them big shot on them, all them 1% go and benefit from my money? Because the money have to be spent right in front. Their same business places that the drain getting clean, that the big trucks coming out overloaded and mashing up the roads. Whether you own a quarry or you own a store, understand. And I'll be going on a very serious campaign. The ground report. Well, I'll be on the road with my boy, researcher. And we go in and show all in. All the various government buildings are renting and how much the government paying for. Because we can get it through the freedom of information. Which you will know how much taxes these commercial buildings I'll worry and them renting for 500,000 a month by 600,000 a month. We show off that by 5%. How much tax them two buildings can I give we that them going to save compared to we had to pay we 2,000, we 3,000 a year. Watch out, them getting paid government money. And the government is making sure that they tax back them boy who renting their buildings. Not only I'll worry all the landlords for the government of Trinidad and Tobago that we are paying. It have councillors and all renting in properties, renting, government paying rent. So you will know what you will know what a business is getting. Why we don't go for all the fair taxes?
Andy,
we tell all about Grand Bazaar, where Republic Bank there. We have we have the paperwork how much them paying a month in Grand Bazaar. I sabga them. We have the paperwork of how much McDonald's paying. That whole compound they're making millions. It's millions of dollars to come out in taxes. And them don't have to pay, boy. We have to pay. Them really leave out the rich and come to tax the poor. It all in understand our. It have Scotia and them, not all buildings that some of them banks and them renting is them own. And that's commercial buildings. You're hearing them bank and them making quarterly 300 million, 400 million. Them paying all kind of 60, 70,000 for renting their bank space. Whether it be the JMMB, whether it be First Citizen, whether it be Public Bank, whether it be Scotia Bank, not all of them earn their own place. It are places where they're renting from people. Look, we know, well, and we can know how much rent they're paying. How much person who own that building supposed to be paying. And them getting the 40, 50, 60, 70. Them leave them out. And come at we the people, you know. Man, already lines open by the time, Lennox. Any interjection on that by the meanwhile? Johnson?
I am anxious. I'm anxious. In fact, I'm going to check the post office today. You know, we sent under Freedom of Information requests from the EBC. Of course, it's about a week or two. Of course, they have 30 days to respond, but I'm so anxious. I don't want it to be said that they sent a letter and I didn't receive it, because when I make the next move, if they don't respond appropriately or on time or according to the law, then of course I have to make certain that the ombudsman is there waiting, or a judicial review is an option. And because of course we want to know what role, how come they didn't know about Grand Bay, the company that the EBC employed just after the 2020 general elections to essentially take electoral material and send it for recycling. I'm not casting any aspersions. I'm not saying that they wanted, of course, material evidence evidence to disappear. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that how come you didn't know that Grand Bay received $5 million from the Rowley administration back in the budget of 2016 when they first came into office? How come you didn't know that? And if you knew, was that considered and would the board consider it to be a conflict of interest? And if you didn't know, well, of course, you failed to do due diligence. But in addition to that, I want to know whether or not electoral materials from the 2020 general elections, and so soon after that 2020 general elections, you hired the same Grand Bay Limited, of course, from that toilet paper organization or company from Omira Industrial Estate in Narima, whether or not electoral material from the 2020 general elections was part and parcel of the material given for recycling purposes. Essentially, that is what we want to know. And of course, that will form part and parcel of let's say, our information blitz that will take us across the globe, regionally, hemispherically, and internationally, to organizations that superintend and to which the EBC is connected in terms of association, to let them know, apart from, of course, the record of 2015, when, of course, the court said that they had no authority so to do, their conduct with respect, of course, to Rowley going to the parliament and adding 3 seats into the Tobago House of Assembly, and they, of course, were very accommodating in, of course, looking at seats that were dominated by the PNM. Of course, the people, just as what is going to happen in the 2025 elections, the people would have decided that, listen, the PNM must go, and that occurred in Tobago, and it must happen in Trinidad and Tobago in the next national elections. Go ahead, my friend.
Nice. A pleasure. All the way calling from, what's your contribution on the ground report this morning? What's supposed to make news that not making news? Let's hear you. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
From the States of America here.
America. All right.
Yeah, Mr. Lennox, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, my friend.
Good morning to you, sir. Thank you. I have 3 questions, if I could ask it, please, to you all, based on some of the stuff that you touched on here. And I could give you a quick synopsis behind each question. The first one I want to ask is that when a number of times I've heard you stating that we should have international observers, right, of the elections coming up, which I agree, have some independent observers observing the upcoming Trinidad elections. My question is, do you have a specific country or organization from specific country or countries that you would prefer to have watch the elections? Because I can tell you that if you're looking at the United States, whether it's the Carter Center or or any of those, and there's another one that can come to mind right now, unfortunately. So if as far as the United States is concerned as being one of the countries, we don't even have it properly structured up over here. So that's my first question.
Right, and I always heard you ask that question And yeah, we're looking for all types of observers. But again, in Trinidad and Tobago, unfortunately, the only person have the power to allow that is whoever is in its big seat, which is the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, but I want to add immediately that yes, we are looking at the Carter Foundation, we are looking at the Organization of American States, we are looking at the United Nations as well. We will be writing, of course, the State Department as well, because as you know, they have a yearly or annual bulletins on every single state in this hemisphere. And of course, in terms of their progress, we're looking at the European Union as well, because they have a very formidable and a very robust monitoring system. And if we can get including, of course, our very own here in the Caribbean, we are looking at CARICOM as well, and the CARICOM Secretariat. So quite a expansive group of individuals, simply because of the track record of the EBC. Dr. Rowley, in his illusion, of course, or his attempt to deflect attention, will try to let us believe somehow that we have had free and fair elections in Trinidad and Tobago, and therefore there should be no, as far as he's concerned, no independent observers. But I want to let you know, as an outsider, that in 2015, Dr. Rowley wrote the same institutions in order to get independent observers here in Trinidad. So then he was a Democrat. He was pro-independent observers. But today, as Prime Minister, he doesn't want it. So, and that, of course, will raise suspicion to any reasonable and, of course, conscientious Trinbagonian.
Right, and just put all of that in consideration, that Kamala Prasad Bissessa did organize observers, which you will also put in consideration again. We could cry from now till New York, wherever you is, Britain, we could reach all Australia. The only person could call that shot, whether it's the European Union or this one or that one, is the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. The opposition cannot even bring observers on their own. The only person of that power is him.
So I guess there is, if I may use the better choice of word, a fault within the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago, because what is the sense having an opposition if you don't have any teeth? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like in Great Britain, United States, and other places, you have something like filibusters and other stuff like that, right? That even though one is in the majority, you know, in the ruling majority, depending on the system that you have, you'll have the different other aspects of government, so to speak, right? To keep checks and balances. But so I guess, Lennox, that is something enshrined in the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago, which should be reformed.
The Prime Minister, why that is so? Let's just be specific here, and we need to understand the system. The reason that is so is because the apparatus of government would, of course, be in the hands of the incumbent. It does not mean that these institutions cannot come here on their own volition. The only difficulty with that is that they will not get the assistance of the apparatus of state, because they would not have been invited by the state. That is the reason. So it doesn't mean that they cannot come here on their own volition and make their observation and make their own, of course. And that is where we come in. We are saying that whether Rowley decide to invite or not, and they do not have the assistance of the state apparatus, because they would have been in control, the incumbent, obviously, that they must come here, and where there is instances of unfairness and instances where the election was not free and fair, we hope that it will be sufficiently blatant that they will be able to make a report irregardless.
Nice. So you get it right. We organize to take an next call.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
No, one thing. Go ahead. You finish that one thing before you leave.
Yeah. Second quick question here is that I don't have a question, but I think that you could maybe look at a very neutral country, and it is the entire thing, Ecuador, right? If it materializes, right, and definitely some Caribbean states definitely get those observers from there. But here's the other thing, though, with the Board of Elections in Trinidad, do you have a way, or do you have the data available to see we know that given UNC supporters go to vote for the UNC, and you have the PNM supporters who will vote for the PNM, right? But as you know, if every UNC person votes, that by itself, gentlemen, would you agree or disagree with me that if every registered UNC voter votes, that by itself wouldn't be sufficient to make sure you secure victory? You will need, of course, those non-aligned voters and citizens to also vote for the party for victory. Would you agree with me or disagree with that perspective?
I agree. There's a 33% that we consider to be neither here nor there, based on of course on issues as opposed to party line, but more importantly, because of the let's say the evolution of the constituencies and their physical or their addresses, if you want to call it that. We have a preponderance where, like say, Central and so on, you're going to have the UNC dominating, and in the North, you'll have the PNM dominating. But but in spite of all of that, you have what is called marginal seats. And it is in those marginal seats where the battle really is fought. And of course, that what you are saying there comes in and plays into that 33% that will shift the decision one way or another, having regard, of course, to the first past the post system that we operate in this country.
Nice. So let me one time introduce Michael Kerr, the Mighty K. A pleasant good morning. Yes, because we know it's 8 o'clock. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning to you, my brother Andy Pitbull Williams. Good morning to you, brother Lennox Smith, and of course our technical director. Yes, Andy, go ahead and make the intro, my brother. We are with our CARICOM brothers and sisters on Guile TV. Go right ahead. Welcome them, my brother.
Nice. So a pleasant good morning to each and every one of you that are locked on to the #1 program in Trinidad and Tobago, talk program. It was on radio. But now it's the #1 talk program on television, Guile the Caribbean. I'm yours truly, the Pitbull of radio. In the ping there, you're seeing the Michael Kerr, Mighty K. And you're seeing the next brother there, which is Lennox Smith, the big word man. We are current affairs program. We are fighting for righteousness in this country of Trinidad and Tobago. That's why we also invite you all. We invite you all and all to play your role or make your contributions. Based on if you're smelling what it is going on in Trinidad here, you're seeing that same thing going on in your neck of the woods, in your country, whether it be Guyana, Grenada, Jamaica, and you seeing that. We want to know. Because we are one Caribbean people. But I can tell all you in Trinidad here now, I show all you they know. We have a vagabond running this country named Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. It is what it is, and this is how the program is. A bunch of political pipers selling out everything, thieving out everything, destroying everything, and bullying everybody. There's a bunch of bullies too. Okay? So that's my introduction. So guys, all of the lines are open by the meanwhile, but again, I go back to you.
Yes, Andy, what an introduction indeed. Yes, gentlemen. So, a lot is taking place. A lot of people are talking out now. Some people might question why they're talking out now. Well, basically, victims usually talk out when what they fear can happen no longer exists. So there's no fear of the consequences that they may have been afraid of. So now they can talk out. Now they basically have nothing to lose. And as you connect the dots, yes, we may want to pass judgment on them that you knew you were part of this part and parcel. But now they're talking out, we need to really take that information, take that data, and use it to our advantage. Things are not right in the PNM. And basically we are not concerned about the internal wrangling. What we're concerned of is the fact that what is taking place is depriving us as well from living better. Have your convention, have your internals. You're scared about having it? Well, we have a person who just call you a lady and she say, and is that? And she's the one who said that God don't wear pajamas and he don't sleep. Look, come on. 1 minute you want the job, next minute you went to walk over here for the walk. Yeah? Look what you do to Manning, full circle. And I mean, we watching it play out before our very eyes. Come on. I mean, people. Lennox, this thing is madness.
What's it?
You have now you're trying to choose somebody to be your predecessor, and people are asking, well, who is this man? And then this man have a foul mouth. Well, we know that he definitely had to have been groomed and influenced by your nature, because I mean that is you, that is meaning you.
He's a me man.
Just the skin, yeah, because that just the skin complexion might be off, but that's you. That is your mini you. Look at that. And when you look at what is taking place, these people are not going to get the act together, All we want is a date, Ring the bell, now, man. Or they could fight after. What are you scared of? Are you scared of what happened to Manning at Balizé House when he lost in 2010? Eh? Because Andy, Yellow Band Maxi don't work in Chaguanas. Yellow Band Maxi don't work in South. Yellow Band Maxi don't work in the in the East. So where these Yellow Band Maxis came from with these people outside Balizé House? Who sent it? At that time, it could only have been 3 people that may have directed that. It could have come from the office of Amy Brown, Colm Imbert, or Dr. Keith Rowley. Are you afraid that the amount of maxis go pull up? Are you afraid that your own people even want to jump in on maxi to come and run you? They're willing to walk all the way from Cedros just to make sure that you're gone? How many people that you hurt? How many people that you break down, that you so insecure about what life has in store for you? How many people? Could it be Nylon Hippolyte? Nylon Hippolyte is the man who took the letter for Manning to sign to make you political leader. Nylon Hippolyte is the man. Like, you forget what was said about, according to Nylon Hippolyte. You start to act up and say, well, if they don't want to sign it, and it's Nylon Hippolyte who tell you, hey, I will get it done for you. And he was the one that took the letter to Mr. Manning's residence. Mr. Manning didn't even come downstairs. Somebody came, grabbed the letter, took it up. Mr. Manning signed it, and you became opposition leader. You became the political leader of the PNM. Today, that very same Hippolyte, who is down with cancer, you send anything for him? You send a hamper, one of them magical PNM hampers that you expect to ever finish? That if you run out of goods on Thursday, all of a sudden on Friday morning, the hamper fill up again? Did you send one of that? Did you even give him a phone call? Did you mandate anybody, whether it be Kazim Hossain, anybody in the inner circle, to reach out to Nylon Hippolyte? What kind of individual are you? This is the man who took the letter when you started to course and say, you know what, if they have a problem, they didn't have to sign it. It was Nylon who took the letter and who went to Manning to sign it for you to come in as a big boy. Today that man has cancer. Have you reached out to him? What kind of individual are you? What kind? I'm sure your members realize that now. It is cemented with them that you're no good. You're no good. Oh God, you're wicked. You're wicked. The man who took the letter to bring you in, you ain't even reach out to that man.
And that man sick with cancer. That man sick with cancer, but no.
He's coming along, Andy. Dialysis, he's coming along.
Hey, boy.
He's coming along. But Andy, oh God, the man who took the letter.
They don't like their own,
But Andy that is the man who went to get signed for you to come in. And when you do come in, no position for that said man. No ministry for that said man. The very same man.
Oh, totally.
The man was left out totally.
For Manning to sign, and he totally ignored that man after that signature.
Totally. The man got nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, in fact, he was organizing a GoMe fund, you call it, in order to
GoFundMe,
to satisfy his medical expenses. that is where he had to go as a far cry from coffee. Far cry from coffee.
Yeah, the government spend money on coffee.
Yes.
Wow.
But clearly,
gentlemen.
So you
you
understand.
Yes.
You understand, Andy, why there's a fear of calling any internals. He knows quite well. He's just trying to test the ground by putting out this one song, but he knows he can't go nowhere. He can't afford to go nowhere. He can't. The worst employee can't take a day off because they ain't sure to come back to get anything, any work, and plus all the nonsense they've been doing is going to be unveiled. They have to stay there. He has to stay there. He knows the alternative. He can't go nowhere. He can't, and he knows. He put that out there to see.
He knows. So Rowley knows that it have diehard PNMs within the PNM going and stand up for the madness. He and that little circle, which is just he, Stuart Young, small, we call him.
Yes.
Call him in Bert.
Yes. And Andy, according to Karen Nunes, the sheriff last night on the Observer, he said, "Listen, man, more people may have joined the party, but still, only a few of them take part in these internals." He said, remember Louis Leasing left the party because that he said, "But I paid my dues, and you are allowing people to vote in these internals who are not even members, or not even paying members." He said they use URP and CPEP people, workers, to vote for him. And he knows the reality. They can't repeat that. You think he don't know what you're going by Foster Cummins for a function. You talking and everybody look at that as intermission. Eh? A man ain't have time to hear nothing you have to say, and you come in the man area. You come in the man, it's so bad. You couldn't even bring in people with PNM t-shirts. You have to pay people on the spot to wear the PNM t-shirts. He start to talk. And while he talking, you only hear in the background, "Put more gravy. Let me get next box now. Put the cake in this box. I don't want no leg. Give my breast and wing." And they have to say, "No. Look, the political leader, look, the prime minister talking. They don't want to hear him. He knows he's not popular, not even among his own." It's the same people who say at the end of the day, "I'm sticking with my own." They ain't sticking with him. They're not sticking with him. He's trying to hold it together. Brother, try and do that after the election. We just want a date. That's all we asking for. You go and handle your affairs after. Balance your scale after. Them go deal with you because you can't deal with them. Them go deal with you after. But right now, don't deprive us of living better. We just want a date. You know your own people don't even want you. Your own people don't even want you. And who's on the outside?
But before that, Mikey, I want to tell you, go to the top of the class. Magnificent analysis of the reality on the ground, and of course the shenanigans that the implosion of the PNM, as is the case. Yeah, the man is totally paranoid. He's paranoid. Of course, and the first instance of that was in the local government elections last, when, of course, in St. James, in the heartland, a group of PNMites, it could only be PNMites, told him and shouted and, of course, disrupted the meeting. He was stunned and amazed and at a loss for words when they told him, "You just lie, you just lie, you just lie." Well, after that, of course, he converted a local government campaign into, of course, a discussion with the Prime Minister. So only PNM who they can vet could come into that room. And that is how he converted, of course, a campaign into, of course, a state-sponsored so-called conversation with the Prime Minister, but really at the state's expense. The man is a trickster. He's incompetent. He's impotent. He is rambunctious, and therefore they can't wait. I agree with you, to see the backs of him as the rest of the country.
You can't be that wicked. You can't be that wicked, Andy Lennox, because the PNM people saying, "My God, today Hippolyte, tomorrow it could be any one of us."
Of course.
It could be any one of us. You don't treat your soldiers like that. especially one that was championing your cause to become political leader
Yeah,
and opposition leader.
The man is
Oh
brain dead.
God,
He's brain dead politically, and of course,
that wickedness, no, that wickedness, man.
stone-hearted.
Wherever you are, whether you're in Guyana, Grenada, Dominica, people you know that is wickedness. Oh God, Andy.
No, but some people are saying that they really don't give a damn about Hippolyte neither, because he's one that endorsed and how Rowley they doing them wickedness. But let me take a call as we have on the line.
God.
Morning, caller.
Well, yeah, you'll get that as well. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Yes, the ground report. I heard you all when you all were talking about, the treatment of the ground report and whatever. But people, we have to understand it. There are people in this country who genuinely want a better country. And they will do everything in their power to make sure that things change and we live better. But there are some people, no matter what, it is about I, me, myself, I and I. And as long as they can have the money and have what they want, they don't care about Trinidad and Tobago. They don't care about the people of Trinidad and Tobago. You understand? We have elections coming up. The 9 years of for us. Many people, they dead as if it's chicken for Kentucky. So many people lost their lives. And when you lose your life, you lose everything. And you want to tell me, a couple of months before elections, we should be having this battle to get rid of the PNM? Look at Tobago. Tobago is a good example. Tobago realized PNM was not working in Tobago. What did the people of Tobago do? What did the people of Tobago do? They went and they vented out the PNM. Did we have any international observers? Did we have any other foreign? We don't have. What we want to have is the majority of people who want us to live better, who want the murder to stop, who want the injustice to stop, who want the suffering to stop, who want the destruction of Trinidad and Tobago to stop. So just go out and vote for the UNC. Why is Trinidadians this so difficult? After success for years, going to get the answer. Let's do with the people in this country. Go. Take a good example. When they just one constituency to tell them the PNM dangerous and like an undermine thing, but it's the Begonians out smart then. Remember when they took one constituency and divided it in three, yeah, because PNM always have a plan of destruction. They always have a plan to have their own way. And the people here, we see, we know, we experience the evil, the wickedness, the sinfulness of the PNM, and we still arguing and fighting about PNM is bad, but you see the answer. What the hell is the answer? We should be in this country. You guys in the ground report are working every day, and sometimes you have to wonder, the people in authority, where is the appreciation? The people in this country who have businesses, who have money, who sponsor this and sponsor that. They should be sponsoring the ground report. You should be working just like these criminals that working for the PNM. But then and you know something when you look at it, the people who are doing evil, they are the ones who are protected. They are the ones who are promoted. They are the ones who can always get this and get that. And the honest, hard-working people, they take them for granted. And so then they can walk over them and they will continue working. You understand? This is the problem in this country. The majority of the people on the ground, they would stand up and say, we are going to fix this country. And it's so simple. We don't have to have no guns. We don't have to have no Qatar. Just their voting finger. I am hoping and praying that the people will recognize it. I'm going to PNM. It's a real disrespectful for nothing. When you listen to Imbert and Stuart Young, it's what the people want this country to want it. They only go in and we go put. Everyone that wants to go put, the point is this, PNM is right. And they say PNM is the problem. We don't want somebody to take over from Rowley. We want all of them to go to destroy this country. Let the economy now. We should have been, we have so much money here. The money in this country was spent by people who are cared about the country and the people of the country. Everybody in this country would have been living good. But they take $1 and get their friends and their family and building here and building there. everything went, all the billions in this country went to the PNM, their friends and their family. And what did the ordinary citizen get? Access, take. What and Barbados just given to the people? What did only tell me what did Rowley and the PNM ever get to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? So you can't come in, here you are, $2. $10 for all your votes come in cheap. $2 an hour to do it. So all your competence red face and go and buy ray. The bottom line is, the majority of people, because some of them they brain damage, but the majority of people can live better. They know there is something called people power, and how we can be when we unite and realize that we must get rid of PNM, we want to live better. Guys, let's keep up the struggle. They say, in the 91st time, they say, behold and see the reward of the wicked. I wait in. Because, the wicked and the evil, the PNM and the supporters are waiting to see the reward for them. But guys, all you're doing good. And let me tell you now, sometimes they say don't talk about God. Because, he's very much alive. And you see, the ones who doing good, see, something is hard. It's heartbreaking. It's unfair to see how the evil rising and the good people have to suffer. But God is in charge. And them who feel they have power, they can't stop a hurricane. They can't stop an earthquake. So that goes to show them in with the power. All the people work. Sometimes I know. I said today, something, these guys work so hard. They didn't wait until the majority of them, when election coming out, all the randomly coming out, they hold. Everybody coming on that rock. All they didn't do that, Then all years from the day after election, when all the party was in government, all you say the pause, all you fight, and all you fight, and all you keep fighting. And then you have the ungrateful ones out there. The ungrateful ones who will all the man say that. They're entitled. They do nothing, but they're entitled. But as I said already, the bottom line is the majority of the people have the power. And we are going to decide if we are going to do everything in our power to fix this mess or continue sitting down there and letting the evil continue. Because, when we unite, when we pray, we unite, and we get up and we fight, trust me, we could do it. We could live better. God is in charge. Well, that's all they keep up the struggle. And the ones out here who really want to live better, we want a better country, we want to see all these gangsters in the PNM go, we could do it. When we unite and we fight, yes, we can. Blessings, gentlemen.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, the lines are open, Trinidad and Tobago. Wow. The should book always some point, boy, fellas.
Yes,
indeed.
As per usual.
Go ahead, caller.
Yes, caller.
Andy for Gandhi, and Gandhi for Andy. And we want foreign observers and people that rally around the EBC and tell them we don't want no hoodwinking. Andy, Lennox, Mikey, and all the technical support, and Dial the channel, and all where this broadcast is transmitted on Dial, up the Caribbean and the lower Caribbean, Guyana, and the workers' platform. Now, Uncle Andy, Uncle Lennox, and Mikey, I would just like to make a public announcement and a cry. Now, Miss Roadbrook used some words which I would like to echo my statement on. Now, the time has come that we get a platform and avenues to unite. And I would like to ask the listeners and the right-thinking people who say that we don't have a voice and we want to be out there to send a message. Now, Uncle Mikey is calling to go to the EBC, right? And now, the trade union, the oilfield workers trade union, is calling on the workers and the pension, all who was designated on the closure of Petrotrin, and all the pension plan which has been in distribute. A real derelict, they're robbing the people now, and hopefully it will come to an end. And all who feel that the refinery should stay in the hands of the citizens of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago as our joy and pride and money owners that belong to the people, all who believe that it should be of our being to remain in the hands of Trinidadians and Tobagonians. The OWTU now will be outside on the streets and visiting areas. So if it's really about unity and really about country and a better life, we're getting the opportunity now to join, to echo our voices for a better life. So if we're really serious, we now just have to listen for when the day is announced and to come out. Because Uncle Mikey is waiting for a day now to mobilize. So now we see how much people now and the citizens, we are really here. Because in the finance committee, you see where India then is hiding all the extra money and they can't give account for it. So Andy, Lennox, Mikey, and I thank you for making a call on behalf of our organization, which I get to understand. We could let our voices be heard. So who thinks it's right and want a better life, we have something now so we can piggyback on. Have a nice day.
All right, thank you, Cole. Victor, man, good morning, good morning.
All right, so the lines are open, Trinidad and Tobago. I'll check
Give
out
them the numbers.
in a bit there. The numbers to call 225, in fact, it's on the screen there, 225-6644, 225-6644, or 239-5120, 239-5120. Or give us a WhatsApp call. We'll send you a WhatsApp voice note at 366-3053, 366-3053. The lines are open, Trinidad and Tobago. Oh boy. Let me just go and check out some voice notes here by the meanwhile. Morning, caller.
Good morning.
Another time, Rowley, he gave a particular food that he tell Monilal in the parliament that he buy one of that. Something, when we go on the street, word on the radio because you know how it is operate. I buy a pair of that boot. And when we had the first pushback, I wear that boot. When we went to deliver the letter for Erla, I wear that boot. The last letter you delivered for Imbut office day, I have that boot. And I have that boot for when we're ready to go down to the EBC. And I'm waiting for the day so that we're going to pull it out and shine it up to move again. So, and all the other same word we are leaving out here for what is government and Rowley doing, I have the boots ready to move again. And like I say, I'm going to die with our boots on until we get rid of PNM and all the S they're doing right now. Yesterday I had a little conversation with a sycophant, a PNM sycophant, about the crime situation in the country. And he's trying to tell me now, well, you know, the crime is like this because the opposition say that's how they're going to make the country ungovernable. Blood will flow on the street. So that's the narrative that is pumping these idiots in their mind to think that all the crime is because UNC not in government, so them creating all the crime in the country and committing all the murders. So I draw a little analysis to the man. I say, so wait now. PNM was in government and holding the government in Tobago for X amount of years. And Tobago was a place to live and comfortable and things. Come and they get rid of PNM from Tobago. And now we have 25 murders already in Tobago. Tobago come like a hot spot now. I say so, if the UNC they want to get rid of the PNM from Tobago, and they get rid of PNM from Tobago, and the crime going up now, how you could justify that statement you're making? Well, the crime now that they get rid of PNM and Tobago is supposed to be zero. Tobago is supposed to be the best place now if the UNC is the one who is responsible for the crime in the country right now. Tobago is supposed to have zero murders. You could wear any jewelry you want, walk with all your money hanging out your pocket. And anywhere, anytime in Tobago. But I say, now we've seen, now that PNM out of governance in Tobago, we've seen a total reverse of the philosophy that all of us think about. So justify that, you can't say nothing. You say, boy, Tobago is a different place and a different people. I said, no, it's Trinidad and Tobago. The same taxi you could take to reach the Port of Spain from San you could take it to reach Tobago from Trinidad. So what notices all we talking about? What kind of propaganda all this are influencing and making all the believe? I say, go back into history and it will show you that how crime has always escalated when PNM in government because they have the most incompetent people leading the protective service in the country, and that's all down and all right. Fact of the matter, every single thing that Gary Griffith put into place is fight crime and then they come and do this mantle. Now we're in a state of total anarchy and chaos in the country. And now just notice one now trying to implement back everything that Gary Griffith had in place, taking it back one by one, and playing it like that's one initiative of fighting crime in this country. That's the mentality these people have. You see, you have to take your time. You have to take your breath, hold your breath, and educate them a little bit. It will take a little long, and some of them might not still get through them, but it will take a little while. But eventually, they start to realize what it is really is the problem and where it comes from, and is the pain. Have a good morning, gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of all your day. Take care.
Thank you very much, caller.
Thank you, caller. We have the Andy. More calls?
Ah, boy. Yep. I'm going to just take a little voice, some voice notes here.
Yeah, and boy, this energy sector, I mean, as much as the way things are, the way things, we really and truly not here to sell doom and gloom. But boy, I mean, nobody could tell us what is in store for us. Everybody just stopping short to say, look, listen, I think half of the times when these people talking, some of them had a suitcase packed and ready to go, Yeah, I feel so because when you ask many of these analysts and economists and all of these academics, what we looking at? I mean, just tell us they can't victimize you. I mean, just tell us. I think some of them already perhaps travel and lock down a place to stay wherever, and they're ready to go. The amount of flights might be leaving here if it is that we have to get a next 5 years at Rowley and the PNM. A next 5 years at the PNM, Andy.
Right,
That airport will be busy from the time. But anyhow, like,
oh boy, let me play some voice note.
Go ahead.
Blessed morning, Andy. Sorry to send that so early, but it is so jokey to listen to. I had to send it to you. You have a blessed morning waiting for the program.
All right, there's just people waiting.
Andy.
Oh, all right. Next. All right, let me just take this one call and then play them voice notes. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Andy, and good morning, Mikey. Yeah, I see like hello, a little while now, but still I'm taking out tune this morning. I see Wesley, what's his name?
Wendell Eversley.
Wesley there, what's his name? The one he joined PNU, he was at UN.
Yeah, Wendell Eversley.
Yeah, I see. That he cautioned the government to steward on them now. What is he doing now? What is he purpose?
It's election season and a smooth transaction back into the UNC also. That is how them fellas is doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I know. Mikey, good morning to you, brother.
Morning to you, my brother. Good morning. Good morning. Feliz Navidad, my brother.
Yeah. Oh boy, the more secrets come up.
The transition, try
Yeah,
to
the
get a smooth transition back in, yeah.
yeah. So just in case the PNL win back, he could always apologize. And if it is the UNC win, the activates said everybody remember. They'll go forget the ground report, nobody remember. Hey, look Wendell Eversley coming the scenes. Look, he's fighting for us. Hey! And then all of them who fight 10 years while Wendell cussing them, get leave out. Oh boy, let me take
Boy, people might think you're joking, but boy, it's so real. It is so real, and that is why I made it clear. I don't care who get offended. Can't be cutting track for Guti to run. All of we in this together. Simple as that. None of us can get it better unless we all get it better. We want to live better, and none of us can have it better unless we all make it better. Simple as that. We all have to be a part of it. As simple as that. We can't get it better. We can't make it better. We can't have it better until we all want to make it better. We have to be on the same page. We have to be. Sometimes I know this program may not connect with the people who still able to keep at least a part of their head above water. They may not be on the same page with you who really and truly, your cupboard is empty. You have nothing. They're not on the same page with you where you staying up late at night studying which bill will get paid this month and who had to get leave out because you're juggling it, because you want to make sure the children sleeping because you don't want to put any panic or anything in their minds. But parents, you know exactly what we're talking about. You may not be on the same page with a woman who has to compromise her sexuality just to put food on the table. Yeah, that's the reality. Whether you're offended or not, that's true. You may not be on the same page with that woman. But we all have to find that same page. We have to understand. You may not be there today, but if they get the next 5 years, you definitely will be there tomorrow. That's right. It's just a matter of time. So we can't wait when everybody on the same page, because that will just be one big page of pain. We suffering already, but when the pain go kick in, you're still moving, so you ain't feeling the blow. You're still moving, so you ain't feeling that tightness. But when you stop, when that next 5 years hit your soul, and it busts your chest, that is it. That is the pain. It's the pain. You suffer for 10, but the pain will kick in that next 5. Because there's nothing. There'll be absolutely nothing. No dragon deal, no pie in the sky, no promise, nothing to materialize. Aluminum, you're going in the aluminum industry with $5 million. How big is this venture going to be to provide jobs and sustainability to our economy? $5 million investment, and you're putting 10 million in the EBC. You diversifying the economy, diversifying our economic portfolio by putting a little bit of money into a venture and putting more money in the EBC. Who are you trying to fool? Who are you trying to fool? You diversifying the economy with 5 million, but buy a steel election device for 10? And who's on the outside?
Morning, caller. All pleasant good morning to you. Welcome to the Ground Report. Where are you calling from, and what's your contribution on the Ground Report this morning?
Morning, Andy, again. Morning, Lennox. Morning, Mikey K. This hat on Rowley head. You think he's taking off that hat? No, he's not taking off that hat, you know. The country had to go right down to the bone, right down to the top. You understand? You have to privatize everything and sell out everything, every single thing in this country for him to take off that hat. And I don't think he will take it off either. He has to see that when the next Prime Minister comes to take over in this country, right? Nothing for them to, nothing to do. He had to leave everything laid down so she had a money now because just there is the election and they know they have to get out. Right? They have to get out. We have to watch and see and pray and making sure that people and them that we're getting into and putting themselves into. It's only let this PNM government come in power again for the next 5 years. All your children, all your mother, all your parents, the family, they will rise them because the PNM have nothing but self more than to sell out all that we have in the country and privatize everything. This is what we will get. So let's sit down here and plan and put them people there, the PNM and we will suffer and we will regret it. But in the time, we said, our boy, we put them back here on the country, not all of them will be peace. So all of us are making no choice. We hear what I'm telling you, because all of us will suffer.
Thank you. Oh boy. Ms. Lakita say, all of we will suffer, which is true. All of we will suffer.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're suffering, but you ain't feel the pain yet. You're not pain hit your soul.
Morning, caller. Go ahead, caller. Move from the device. Talk to us through the phone. A pleasant good morning to you. Welcome to the Ground Report. Move from the background noise, please. Turn down the gadget. All right, next caller. Oh boy.
Yeah,
oh boy.
you don't want to listen, man.
When will I get you? Move from the gadget. Morning.
Hey, morning, Andy.
Morning to you. Where are you calling from? And what's your contribution on the Ground Report this morning?
I'm calling from Library. This is Renison Jeffrey calling you.
Hey, Jeffrey, go ahead, my brother.
Go elaborate.
Yeah, Mikey, what's going on? I ain't seen you,
there, brother.
I know you did.
Yeah, you there, man.
Right, so what I have to say is this. I know in all organizations have little ups and downs. And, I would have thought, from when Andy would have talked this morning, I would have thought that, everything was running smooth. I would have known the little treacherous behavior by a certain few. And it does only get them thing, Andy, when people just put a self-gain over the entire organization. That is why it has had them these little bit anomalies that will be showing up in between organization where people doesn't consider the whole entire organization. They are only dealing with their self-gain. And I know there are many activists outside here would have started or would have listened and would have been cheered on from the Ground Report. Or would have fan plenty flame that taking place and people ain't going to come out and tell you that. But they will should be I know your back. But I love the approach that you're taking. Now, I'm saying that there should be controversial. But if somebody come out and say something publicly, don't be quiet. Don't look for no big set of argument and you come out and state the facts. You should come out and state the facts. And Mikey, don't hold back the man. Let the man. I'm saying to make it a big scene because we would have adopted the model. And here is the model. In order to get the truth out of certain people, we just risk being controversial at times. In spite of the fact that it may not be so, but we tweak it a little bit so the population could understand, hey, we're going down a particular road and we need to come out of it. Or we criticize them for them to give a better answer or to put out an answer. So if we say, all right, let me say the MP lab, say we this man quiet, and we make a statement like that publicly, let him come out and defend himself. Now, if you find that he not defending himself to the public domain, he has cocoa in his son, he has things to hide. And that is the approach that we need on the program. There are people here, it's not that we throw about certain people. If they catch it, they catch it. If they ain't catch it, so be it. But as I say, the Ground Report have been fanning the flames of many of the activists outside there. Even when the flames started dwindle, they just tune in, and when they done does bad talk after. And what I am saying is this: we need to come together. Let me put aside differences. Let me put aside perspective. If you want betterment for the country, I don't see why people must be fighting on people on international platforms. So again, Andy, good morning.
All right.
Mikey, I'm glad to see you.
All right, brother.
All right, thank you, my brother. Oh boy.
Who's on the outside? Morning and welcome. You gotta give any numbers again?
Calling you on the WhatsApp and I ain't getting no answer. But my phone give me some trouble on the normal call. And I was complaining about the water and I get cut off handy. See what you could do for me, Andy. I'm begging all you on this wrong report to see about this water, Andy, and this frustration. Sunday they give you a little bit after a month. They cut it off yesterday already, Andy. We can't do nothing for the valley or clean or nothing, Andy. Please, I'm begging all you, Andy.
Morning, the ground report. Andy, you might know that. Mikey and Lennox might know that since the PNM started, they have a group they call the Fatas Brigade, right? Rolly government now. He from a line. He said if you can't hold each other's secret, we will kill you politically. So they are the whole secrets that in the genes. Andy, I'll send you a video personally on your WhatsApp. Play it before you air it out now and censor it. Most interested.
And then Pitbull, morning Grandbot, morning everybody. It's $50 million the man having entertainment in it. Who the hell he entertaining? So of course level horn passing.
Oh Lord. Oh boy.
Trinidad Tobago, good morning. This nonsense that be going on in the parliament is so embarrassing for men to call the leader of the opposition that Sheen Sami or whatever how they talk. It's so embarrassing. They always laugh and talk and make fun. These men and they want to be head of us. You think all they will trust these people for another 5 years? I would like to see Mr. Rowley call the election. Now we want foreign observers. We want to get all the pests out of government because murders in this place happening every minute. It's not like the hour again. There are a lot of murders, a lot of crime taking place where people is getting beaten, robbed, and nobody knows nothing about it. It's only who it happening to. And I know personally of a few which I already put eye to the ground report. So Trinidad and Tobago, let me get serious. We want election now. We want foreign observers and people come out in your large numbers whenever they call to go by the EBC because we need to know what is going on. This government really lost its way. They have no shame. But when he's speaking, he always have a smile in his face because he bringing his Jacona laws, them fellas money top up. They're big, and we want them to disclose of their asset. We want to know how much money they have and how they become of all these wealth, especially Mr. Rowley and Stuart Young. I want to believe Stuart Young make that allegation. I want to believe he just sit down and piss. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Williams, good morning to you, sir. Have a good day, sir.
All right.
I am wondering what the Fantastic Five in the UNC have to say now about the PNM postponing their internal elections. Sorry, not the Fantastic Five, the Foolish Five.
Miss Lahakita, you have it all wrong, Miss Lahakita. Donald Trump here in America, that New Jersey guy who support Donald Trump. He have a supporter who said that Democrats could control the weather. They have prayers and things to do to control the weather. When a hurricane come in, they will send the hurricane only to Republican area, not to Democrat area. So the guy in New York put a polling station and saying that Donald Trump Lake Bamfi. The Democrats have a way they can control the weather according to Donald Trump, his idol. They can control the weather. So after you have it all wrong.
Right. And foreigner, you just control your language while you send your voice note, especially between the hours of 8 and 10. Please, my brother. Whereas I will have to bypass your voice notes. So just come clean. Come clean. Nice.
Yes,
Let's
yes, yes.
yeah, let's
Thanks
go.
for telling him. Thanks for telling him. Go ahead.
Ang youngster, embuses as youngster. Dia thing from City Rasta. And all the 20 youngsters in the PNM, in the parliament, all my youngsters, they are part of the crime in the country. People get one wake up and smell, don't drink the coffee, don't smell the coffee, drink the coffee because you are going on. The country going on a road that it have. Come and go see where you bring manage country, no. Come and go see where you bring manage country because the kind of money them borrow to thief. Come and got to pay back all our money. And them people are the country on that stage right now. This is my just say. 72314 they are begging for the help with more world. Have a blessed and pleasant day.
Andy, Mighty K. Lennox Smith, Trinidad and Tobago Central here. Good morning. Andy, well, a week this morning. The man Fred, he frightening, and he Chamberlain to call eternal election. Why afraid to do that, sir? And there's a big man does do big things. Why don't you call? Why don't you call? Why you cancel the date for that? Why don't you call it and keep it on? Eh? It's Fred, all Fred, sir? Don't ask her when you make a date and time for a general election in this country. Well, you don't know where's the order of the day. You understand? PNM too wicked, PNM too bad mind, and PNM too corrupted. That's why I tell you that they come out of that comfort zone that they're in. They're too comfortable up in there. You understand? Making a set of laws, implementing a set of laws to victimize the people. We train Begonian people who so love and caring, yeah, and who have common sense. But I don't know why they're making these people and them overtake them. Train Begonians. Only I know they might want to come out and protest and this and wele. But let me tell you something. Remember when that date and time call, get up as soon as 1 minute past 12. Brush all your teeth, say all your prayers, call all your family members, everybody that all you know. Just prepare them to come out and vote when you see these wicked people call a date and time in this country. And don't act for this one who she teeth care form together. What she name is? Pujo, or wherever she from. You see how she be talking about we in charge, Mr. Deputy Speaker, we in charge. You know, there's no confusion maker. You just know them. You understand what happened? All they in charge, all they like them little children, all they crying for something and all they get it, all they don't know what to do with it. All they crying for the position, all they come and all they get the position, all they can't do nothing for the people of this country. What part PNM can understand that they fail? They fail. All form and fashion PNM fail. Time for all to pack up and ride out from their comfort zone. All it's just for all their self, all their friends, and all their financiers. You understand what I'm saying? So here what's going on. If your name Man Rowley, call a date and time. 2025, Kamala Prasad Bisesa will be your prime minister that you will have to respect going forward. And it's that, Andy.
And is that? You have some more?
And I forget to mention, we also as the ground people, we will continue putting all your first. All you will always get bigger from we so. You understand what I'm saying? No matter who don't want us, call out all you and big up all you for what you're doing. Don't worry. Blessing don't come from mankind. Blessing come from the Almighty, which every knee will have to bow and every tongue will have to confess. So don't worry, everything is timing. All you will make sure when you see that political leader Kamala Prasad Bisesa step in there, don't worry. Time go tell all you will make sure and get placed somewhere or the other. You understand what I'm saying? So big up to all you each and every day because all it becomes our breakfast. If we don't eat and drink in the morning time, we can't function. You don't know where I'm coming from, Andy, and it's that.
Nice, and it's that. That's it for voice notes. It have no more, so you all could continue sending your voice notes. I'm gonna take a call. The lines are
Yes,
open.
indeed. And is that blessed heart of love? Go ahead.
Yeah, so
thank you, sister.
I'm gonna give you all the numbers. So you will send back some more voice notes. What's on your front burner? What's supposed to make news that not making news?
Yeah, but Andy, okay, I think again we've reached a very critical point here. I've listened to the people this morning. Rowley is this, Rowley is that. No good. I mean, I told you about the Hippolyte story. No good, no good, no good. I mean, we have all come to that collective agreement. No good. The PNM and Rowley, no good. You can't separate them. You can't separate them.
Bad Rowley,
Right?
hold 1 minute. Go ahead, caller. Sorry about that.
Go
Morning.
ahead, caller.
Yeah, hello, morning. I want to find out how much property tax you paying right now. One, right? When companies go and pay property tax, you know who will and pay it? Us. So that means we'll be paying two property tax. So remember, when the minimum wage went up, the things in the grocery, the things in the stores, everything went up because I had to pay the workers. So when the agriculture had to pay, and the businesses, if it's Afghan, all of them going to absorb that cost? No, they're just going to pass it on to us. So we'll be paying two property tax instead of one. We're still it for us. Have a nice day, man.
I'm talking to you, you know. We're going to end up at be paying too, you know. Because they will put that cost down to us.
Of course.
But go ahead, you
They'll
were saying
pass it on.
something.
Yeah, all right. So we agree. We agree. No good. Rowley and the PNM, no good. Can't separate them. Rowley, no good. The PNM, no good. All right? Okay, fine. Then why are we just going to sit by and give him a lifeline? This is a man who is afraid to call the internals, a man who is afraid to have a convention, a man who is quite aware. He knows quite well that he's not politically attractive at this time. He knows quite well that even his own people are ready to reject him. Then we know quite well that we cannot sit idly by and look at the only lifeline that he and the PNM has to try to hold on for the next 5 years. And that is the EBC. That's the only lifeline, people. I don't want to come out now because, oh God, to go and listen, this is it. And there's only one place we go in. We don't need to go anywhere else. We know we went to the Ministry of Finance. We stood up for the Auditor General. We went. We understand what's going on with the Hobbit and that ministry. All right? We went within the past 9 years, 10 years, we went to the Ministry of Works. We went to the DPP office. We went to the Commissioner of Police. We went by Erla. We prayed with Erla, as a matter of fact. Not just we prayed with Erla. Right? But this is it, Andy. We've been to the EBC, but now it matters most. Now it is critical. That is the only lifeline. The only lifeline. Pixie dust. They don't have enough pixie dust to give out. They don't have the pixie dust. They would rather make sure it end up in their pocket, their friends, their family or finances, before even putting anything on the ground to touch the ground for their own supporters. So they don't have the pixie dust. They will find ways, they have the little slush funds and what have you. You come, just to quiet them down. But really and truly, that's not enough. They don't have that. They don't have the political appeal, but they have the EBC.
That EBC.
That's the only lifeline, Andy.
Whole treasury. And the president. Ooh, them are too much. Morning, call away, calling from. What's your contribution on the ground report this morning?
Just imagine this, the fantastic five, cry out loud, speak out for the opposition leader to call the internal election, right? Which she did. So they brought out now to the PNM to call the election. No, all you can do that, but all you want to just be political leader back and telling her to call that election. You feel wicked always is this fantastic thing speaking about. Is this fantastic thing? Always a wicked bunch to the epic. The PNM to call the election now and see what will happen. All you do what all you deserve, all you wicked set of people.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, oh boy.
Good morning. And good morning to our listeners of the Ground Report program. Gentlemen, I used to work at a government agency from 2016 when the UNC lost the election, or the People Partnership lost the election to the PNM administration. Now hear this. And the reason why I am saying this is I am quite concerned. Every year they used to have a budget from 2016, 2017, 2018, and they used to have a budget review. You know what I experienced in my administration for especially the year 2016, 17, 18, and 19, particularly from 2016 to 2018? The only money that the government used to the state, the agency that I work, the department used to get was money to pay salary. Money to pay salary. So most work had to be standstill. There was no money to buy disinfectant, no money to buy basic things like toilet paper, to buy materials, to buy portable drinking water for the office to use. We start to work with our own toilet paper and our own drinking water. And if that happened in our ministry, at the Ministry of Works and Transport, the Drainage Division, what used to happen in other ministries, even basic requirements like stationery was hard and difficult to get. They started check each person like a ganger or whoever in the particular area that they work, that they would need to do their paperwork in order for persons to get pay or salary. They used to have to check the amount and give them it. It was like saying it was scarce. What did they do with that money? All that money in every budget that they carried out in 2016 and 17 and 18, 19. What did they do with all that money? Nobody would not say that. And there was something that we were called in a meeting, and the boss told us, who is in charge of the area, that if we ever say anything on Facebook, we will be dealt with accordingly. Will be written up. That is what they told us, So we was not supposed to. Nobody wanted to post anything on Facebook. We was afraid. There was a fear to say anything about it. And what I'm telling you is true, it's not a lie. So I want to know, what did they do with the money that was allocated in the budget for all those years? What did they do with the money? Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Have a good day.
Andy, good morning. I'm the one who called. Sorry for the language I used, and I apologize to the people and to you especially, Andy. I'm sorry for what I said, the bad word. Andy, what the guy talk about property tax, that's a fact. Every single thing goes up. Everything. If you raise gas price, everything in America, people raise gas price, everything goes up. Every single thing. And we have a man who running for president here telling me he want to pay tariff. He don't understand economics, and I did economics in school, although I also have my students. But I did courses in economics. I mean, the guys don't understand, just like you always don't understand economics.
They didn't understand economics. All right. Somebody send a voice note here. Whoa, boy, it's long. So let's try them not make it so long. Try not to make it so long. All right, let me just do some few more voice notes there.
Andy, morning to the Mikey and Lennox. I've been listening to people talking about the 5 and the 5 and the 5 and the 5. Mr. Parry and the others on there, right? Now, everybody talks about the youths and this and that one, they want the youths to be gay in politics, and Mr. Parry came out and he called on the powers that be, which is the how you call her in the UNC to hold an election, which was constitutionally due. All right, he challenged her. Whether he won, yes or no, but instead of embracing Mr. Parry and teaching them more and more, what they did to the five, they ostracized them, right? And everybody know, like Mr. Parry, is this big evil thing that come out from the UNC. But that young man is a young man in the future would stay and lead the UNC, because all Trinidadians do is just talk, 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 and they don't ever walk the walk. You understand? If somebody challenged the masses on there, they burn them. All right, and what we go keep doing? We go keep burning everybody. Miss Kamala, she's not a young spring chicken. She's getting older every day. And it's time now that we start to embrace the youths and them, okay? Bring them up, show them, teach them, help them along the line so that you would have strong leaders in the future. Not leaders as soon as you go against them, they disband you and they burn your career and all of them kind of thing. Time for we to stop this stupidness in Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, we one party, we fighting for the same thing. And up to this day, I haven't heard Mr. Parry going against the UNC. They banish him at PNM, they banish him this, that, the other, and all kind of thing. Rather than they say he's a strong fighter in the UNC. How much of them cowards in the UNC? They're coward. They coward. They are pack a yellow belly, but because the young man challenged the head of the party, he become a dissident. Time for we to get on the new horse and start right. The paradigm that we have, we got to make a paradigm shift, okay, and embrace the youths and them. Give them the chance. Miss Anita Haynes, all of these people and the young people coming into the party and they're leaving. Okay, because why? As soon as they say something, everybody goes against them. That is not the way we should train the youths and have the youths and they coming into politics. Because let me tell you something. If we want to get that devil out of the Red House or whatsoever house or the White House or the presidency or the prime minister or whatever, we have to have a strong party. And the strength of the party depends on the youths of the party. Encourage them. Not to disband them and call them all kind of dissident and this five and that five. They didn't go against the party with no negative thing. They wanted the election. They came. They saw what it's like. They lost. And what did they do? Some of them who was in the party and they go in the office 10 o'clock in the morning and 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they were in a red tie and all kind of shit. And let's talk about them. They walk all over the place and power to the people and their father and they power to the people and all kind of stupidness. And now, where all of they at? In the camp with the devil and them. Okay, so we got to get our thing together in the UNC. Okay, encourage the youths.
This is what Kamala and them not talking about, and Rowley. This is what we are to look at. What Kamala and Rowley not talking about. You understand? About because that is what it is. You understand, man?
All right, Vernon. Well, I ain't see where you're talking.
Yeah. I think he sent some video there, but he could have told us. I mean, we can't play the video one time, and perhaps he must have sent you that in a personal capacity. I don't know, because I think he sent me something similar.
Oh.
But when you look at Saddam Hussein, Michelle Benjamin, Vandana Mohit, I mean, these are young people. These are young people. And you know, all the other statements that he made, let the ground reporters deal with him. I mean, they have a right to agree, or they have a right to disagree. We heard you. This is the platform. We don't dilute, we don't water down. We just ask that you be respectful. But he made some comments talking about, you know, I think political maturity. We've discussed that many times here on the ground report. He made some things about, as I said, the opportunities for young people. There are a lot of young people Well, we see them again: Saddam Hussein, Michelle Benjamin, Vandana Mohit. We have young people,
Down to
Yeah, yeah.
Kadisha.
Kadisha Amin. We have young people. We have young counselors. We have people serving. So the opportunity is there. I think we have quite a mix, quite a thing. But we made some comments. So we have any calls or we have any voice notes?
The voice notes. I'm finished saying voice.
Go right ahead, my brother.
Hi, guys. You know, we keep talking about the EBC and the EBC. The EBC is not Rowley, the EBC is not the government. What we have to find out is that who are the people that form this EBC? Who are the people who are working in the EBC? We have to check out these people and check the integrity of these people. These people have to know that they will be held accountable if they should decide to do Rowley and the PNM dirty work and to rig up the election or to do whatever they intend to do that is against the law. We have to let them know, not because every Tom Dick and Harry doing what they want, when they want, how they want, backed by the PNM, and there are no consequences for the evil, that they would get away with it. It's about time we the people who are decent, the people who are hardworking, the people who are ambitious and who want to live better. It's about time we recognize the power we have, the power what we have, and start using it. Unite and let me start using it. Because you know why? All who doing evil, they're too damn comfortable. It's about time we the people get together and unite and make them damn uncomfortable. Blessings, people.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Good morning, caller. Where you calling from? What's your contribution on the ground report this morning?
Morning, Lennox. Let me tell you something. You see that call? I will just call and talk about dissidents and all kind of nonsense there. I ain't gonna chastise him. I gonna ridicule him. I gonna make no embarrassing or derogatory statement. All I'm gonna say is that he probably wasn't following the issues and the circumstances concerning the internal elections and everything. When the noise came up about having internal elections and things, the opposition leader came out and said the election will be held, and she mentioned a specific date that is when it is due, and it would not be held any time before. I could remember clearly that statement being made, and exactly that was done. And then all the start of the canal now started evolve around keeping elections and all kind of nonsense, the normal rhetoric that we is here. Election was held, it was done in a specific way, the result said what it needed to be said for itself, and that was that. Now, we have an issue in this country where we have been losing the youth in society. And that's because we don't have the type of leadership that needs to be there that have any kind of respect for. That's no different from what's taking place in the UN. You have to have leadership that is strong and ready to say, hey, hear what? We cannot be behaving this particular way for the population. Everybody is talking about how well organized and well oiled PNM organization is. Look, Rowley come and say, no internal election, not a bag, not a dog bag, not a man say a word. As soon as it was with UNC, everybody, every Tom, Dick, and Harry have something to say in the public to make it sound like, hey, there's total disarray and discontent within the party. And I totally support the direction and the motive behind how Kamala is running the party. That here what? If all you cannot respect me, who would respect only when all you reach the position that the same thing only doing now, somebody won't come and do that to all you. So sometimes you have a nip in that depart. All your lick, all your jamming, and prepare something for the future. Something strong, something reliable, something with integrity for the future when I step down. So you don't want the same thing occurring every 5 years, every 2 years, every 3 years. After that dissidents come out and talking about we want an election, we want to overthrow the leadership, we want this. We have the population, we have the constituents, we have all the people who have the voice. So when the time is due, you just throw it to the population and let them decide who the leader should be. You don't have to come now and say, hey, I want to take over leadership. Who gave you that authority to take over leadership? You is not the party. You is just the person that was elected for a particular space in the party. Is the constituents, is the party, them who contribute and say, hey, we want this person to represent us. And these people have to understand that because this could be an ongoing scenario over and over, and it could be discussed over and over, and you would never get the strength and the backbone that the party needs for the population to be convinced that here what this is something that we could rely on because we have something to compare to. We have when we just talk about the greatest institution, the PNM and all this kind of nonsense off, and you get the jamming from them. So they must take a little time out to think a little bit before they come and talk about what is right and what is wrong and analyze and be a little more deep in all the thinking. For what is right, for what should be policy and how the party is supposed to be run. Have a good morning later.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Yes, yes. Interesting.
Very interesting.
Interesting. We are going into some waters here. Is it that we have to purge a lot of these things before we are all on the same page? I mean, we've been talking for quite some time. Again, it's a talk show, but this simply cannot be a talk shop. Action is needed. We've used so many words already. The only lifeline is the EBC. People have to understand that yes, it's the EBC, and who's going to be on this new committee, this new election management committee? Who are the individuals? Are they the same red till are dead? Eh? Is it the same people? All of that we got to look at, Andy. All of that. Dr. Rowley cannot hold this together. He cannot go anywhere. He won't dare take that chance. How can he just up and leave when he don't even want to call the internals or have the convention? He just threw that out there to get a feel of his own people. You're right, that's none of our business, you know. The only thing that is doing, however, and the main thing, is depriving us of having the bell rung. We need to have that bell. It's time. Ring the bell. Get your way out of here. Don't be scared. No, you know how Mr. Manning felt. Mr. Manning was cornered.
Yeah, boy.
He was cornered.
Yellow
band maxis. He tell a woman, madam, don't hit me, no. Madam, I sure that same woman benefit from Manning. I am sure that same woman benefit from Manning.
Hold 1 minute, Mikey.
Go ahead.
Pleasant good morning to you. We're calling from. Welcome to the Ground Report.
Calling from St. James.
Go ahead, St. James.
Yeah. Well, I've been listening to the discourse, and clearly what happens is that when people are holding a little position based on the fact that they won the constituency seats on a UNC ticket, and these thousands of people voted for them, they start to suffer from delusions of grandeur, forgetting that it was the party ticket that voted for and not them personally, really. And if you look at the internal elections that were recently held and the amount of votes that they lost by, they didn't get a handful of votes, to be honest. You mean they couldn't get them same people who voted for them in the national elections to come and cast a vote for them? They have no sense to understand that they are of little or no significance really in a larger scheme of things, and that the leader of the UNC is the leader of the UNC. And you don't take no pace from where you sitting and start to believe that all them thousands of votes you get in the national elections will rally around you in the internal elections. I only hope that they learn the lesson. And when they find their way from the political graveyard, so to speak, that they make a meaningful contribution. Because quite frankly, they don't necessarily have to serve in a ministerial portfolio. So what? Other things needs to be done in the party as well. Find something that you're useful at and volunteer to serve there. Even if it's a pack chairs and direct how to put up a tent, do something useful, organize your business. The party isn't about the you sitting at a elevated position alone. Somebody has to hand out the water. Somebody has to do this. Somebody do it. And that's the same problem that Michaela had. She wanted to come in as the leader. And while her father did everything for the UNC, including being one of the creators of it, what has she done for the UNC personally? Absolutely nothing. She has no track record in the UNC. So if somebody has to pack chairs, then go pack your chairs. If somebody has to sweep the floor, go sweep the floor. Do whatever you have to do to support the party. But don't go with a high horse and you getting money from PNM financiers to cause distraction in society and want to play big and bad. Nonsense. So these people who now being referred to as dissidents, really, they're nothing. They're like a bad wind in a hurricane. They're meaningless. And eventually, and by now I hope that they will have realized that they made a terrible mistake in the actions and the words, and now they have to stand the consequences for that. Action has consequences. And you better believe that their consequences are whatever the party decide they should do with them. Because this party is not made up of fools, you know. The UNC party, the membership, the rank and file of the UNC membership can read and write and spell and everything else, you know. They're not fools. They're sensible people. For instance, if you was to remove party symbols from ballot cards, 300,000 PNM supporters wouldn't know where to put their X. Because they can't read, they can't write. They continue to do the same thing over and over and over. And what they follow? The balize. But if you remove the symbols from the ballot cards, they wouldn't know where to put the X. I thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, caller. Oh boy.
Well, yeah, go right ahead. Who's on the outside? As I said, I know that the conversation would definitely be interesting. You know, people making their comments and what have you. But what have you really done? I mean, listen, whether you have an issue with Khadija Amin or not, at the end of the meeting, she packs chairs in. She packs chairs. You can't just waltz in and expect that you just going to get some reserve position. It can't work like that. The leader is not going to destroy the morale of the party. She understands, it came out of her mouth that she is going to elevate people. She's going to elevate members and activists to that of councillors and councillors to MPs. She said that's what it's all about. When people are committed and dedicated and loyal to the cause, you cannot sideline them because somebody feel that it is their God-given right to just come in and have a position. Who do you think you are? That's unfair. You attended any pushback? You came with us to drop any letters? You get rubber bullets? You get tear gas? You get locked up? And even if you didn't get locked up, were you out there with Senator Jayanti, Lakshmi Dayal, and others trying to get folks like me and others out? Were you there? Were you concerned? You send down any bottled water? You call anybody after and say, Mikey, how are you doing? What it was? All right. You did nothing. Absolutely nothing. You ain't help out. You ain't know if the party need $10. If you're going to have a barbecue, a curry queue, if you're going to hire Mr. Q, you know nothing because you do nothing. And you have people on the outside meeting you and telling you, what about this one? What about that one? Brother, I know you. You've been ringing my phone. I know you committed. I know you. What you telling me about other people? They're not in the trenches. They're not in the fight. You see them walking with Pagai and them in Arima to go and collect data. You see them walking with Sister Jolene John when La Hawketta having the power walk. You see them moving with Anna Roberts when he going through St. Joseph. Anyone ever call Andy for Grandy and say, Pitbull, you're making waves in Grandy. Let me come and see if you need anything. You were not there because you don't care. And now you expect to just glide in just so, like Batman, and get some position. You have to match your brakes. Hold up. Pump your brakes. Slow your roll.
Yes,
Take your time.
Hold 1 minute there, Michael. Good. Go ahead, caller. Morning, caller.
Lennox, Uganda community, all the social listening together, right on. Andy, California, Uganda here, right? Yeah, listen to the talk this morning, but remember, action, as Mikey saying, is required, right? And sometimes you have to persuade public opinion. And to persuade public opinion, sometimes you have to change the perspective or the way they see things. And yeah, we can call out all the problems. We can name the two-side party and all the problems the two-side party have, right? And the problem could be endless because there is not no perfect party. They have policy, they have laws, and they have a governance system, and they have people who they have to make sure that the laws follow, the policy follow, right? And the party move in the direction that they wanted to. If they have the understand, if they have a leader, as they say, I don't believe in leaders, I believe they are in control of the party or the policy or whatever it is. And they want to look at him as a leader, then what the leader say, they have to abide with this. You see, that was telling you yesterday. The chief commander said, honor your father and your mother so that your days will be longer. When you're living with your parents, you don't want to oppose them. You listen to them because they will have the experience and they will tell you to do the right thing. They won't tell you to do the wrong thing. And if a parent tell you to do the wrong thing, you have to question it. You understand? The same thing with a political party, whether it be PNM, whether it be UNC. They have policy and laws and they have somebody who is directing it and making sure it happens. But some young people, they feel they went to university nowadays. You understand? And they're educated. You understand? And this old person, no, that old person can't talk to me, you know. I this, I that. I can challenge your leadership. Anytime you talk about challenging leadership or challenging person who is in charge, people elect us to see over the whole system, you don't have to go wrong with. One of the person I look admire in the UNC, I don't know much about him, right? Is Rudy Munilan. One of the things I admire about him, he no conflict or anything. And if he in conflict, you don't even know something. And then when he time to talk out and to make a point in parliament, he did stand out. I say, is a guy I look forward to, but as I say, I don't know nothing much about him, man. But I just judge him based on what I hear and see about him. Okay? So the same thing with the PNM. Right now, the PNM have problem. You know who was standing up in the PNM? It's the woman arms of the PNM was standing up for a week. And he had to call an election. Most likely they say that before or after carnival, whatever it is. That man they want to put me as the prime minister. One of the persons I say he's from Asian descent. That small plain man, and they don't want him. And that's what happening in this country. People from outside want to come in this country and rule this country and take what they want and leave them and do the people what they want and go and look where he's from Tobago. He said he's from Mismanagement. And look who you want to put straight in a party because he is the leader. So what I'm showing you the two sides, but they wouldn't hear what's going on inside the PNM in core, but they will hear what's going on inside the UNC core. Then there's nothing wrong. People can listen, people can learn, people can judge, people can come to their own conclusion. All that is part of public perception. You have to judge on your own conclusion. But the bottom line is that all that is all that is garbage happening, you have to remove the PLM and we have no
Thank you. Getting a bad feedback in the background.
UNC. That's it.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, oh boy. Bad feedback in the background. Let us go away. It's quiet, please. Oh boy.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Right. What do you have? What do you have?
Mikey. This guy just called and said that he
Not audible. Oh, you'll have to send back that voice note, caller. It's really not audible. It not sounding good. Oh boy. Let me go. Yeah, Mikey, by the meanwhile, just now,
Yeah, pleasant good morning to the Ground Report. What we had to look at in 2015 general election, right? Rowley was then the opposition leader. He called on the EBC to extend the election by 1 hour, right? Which was wrong and unlawful. And he got away with it. He get into power and he continued to do what he's doing. Right? So 2015, we are in 2025, 10 years down the road. The amount of influence he has in that EBC is, you have to get into that EBC and try to understand what is going on in there. The combination, the makeup of the organization. They're supposed to be independent, but they are not, right? Whoever he planted in there, his relative, some minister relative, and all that, right? That is frightening, and that is dictatorship, right? If independence bodies cannot function as independent, that is dictatorship. And it's time we have to put a stop to that, right? And to put a stop to it, you have to get into the EBC and try to find out the makeup of the organization and who they represent. I think we should do that and do that very quickly. Have a good day.
To that guy who talking about Parry, just remind him that politics have a morality of its own.
I can't forget Ravi those are young people, thankful. They're all young, not old. I don't know what this guy talking about.
oh boy, you know the guy talking about.
Do you have some more?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Good morning, gentlemen.
All right, let me just take this one here quick. Morning, caller.
Good morning, Andy. I just want to just a quick contribution, right? I know the issues what we're supposed to be going back on, we're not going back on, but yet still we're going back on that dissident team there, that Squarehead Rambali and Fisher Parry. Them fellas I don't understand. Well, them is not no Brad Pitt or no Tom Cruise. They're not even my Mikey K or Andy Smith, Andy Williams. Well, Lennox they can't come in Lennox shoes, close on Lennox shoes at all. And so them fellas don't understand the place. They had to hide behind somebody who's attractive. Hide behind them. You understand? And well, I see to have this scenario, Rodney. I see he trying to resemble Rowley because he's supporting Rowley with everything. And well, plus size, double XL, Anita, I don't know. I feel she, if she come to she senses, she wouldn't come. So that is a hopeless kind of thing there. And well, the doctor, well, I wouldn't take a Panadol from me. See, I never see a dosage man so. So these people already in the dustbin. We need to go forward. Them fellas, the bus don't leave already, as my case saying. All right, so and so I feel we to really to be laser focused. We can't be distracted with these.
Well, yeah, Kola, I agree with you, Kola. We cannot be distracted, and we can't even get to the point to say things about these individuals. Again, I wouldn't condone body shaming of any woman. I wouldn't do that. I mean, really and truly, if you believe that they are irrelevant, because I believe the main focus here should be on the EBC every day. But at the same time, reaching to the point to even have to call names, why even make anybody relevant and make them that important? So I understand where you're coming from, but again, we really and truly, if we don't have a standard, then we'll be in the same category as the PNM and the way how they think. And we don't want that.
We don't want that at all. Go ahead, caller. Pleasant good morning to you. Welcome to the Ground Report. What's your contribution on the number one program in Trinidad and Tobago in the morning?
I was not going to call you and let you know. Let me leave that for PNM people in Parliament, not
Yeah,
we.
yeah.
There's always, you have to identify what is the problem and deal with it and focus on it. My wife went away for 3 weeks. So I just take a little high blood pressure tablet and all kind of thing. This morning we sit down having a little breakfast and then she pulled the medicine drawer. She said, but wait now, you are taking your medication for your little hypertension and thing. I said, well, I got to start back to take it. She said, what going on? I said, well, the last 3 weeks my pressure was low, And now that you come back here now, I feel like I got to start taking back the medication. She gave vex. Now it might sound little funny and all this kind of thing. But again, I say, don't focus on all the nonsense. Focus on where the problem lies. The problem lies is with PNM. Let me be there. Have a good morning, gentlemen. Later.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, Barack.
That done gone. The internal elections gone. It's about keeping focus.
Yeah, Andy, listen, and it's about unraveling these lies. Energy Minister, 10 billion US in investments coming in the next 3 years. Stuart Young says the population is soon going to see direct investment of over US $10 billion into the economy in the next 3 years. Of course, he made his statement before the Standing Finance Committee of the House of Representatives as they approved the budgetary allocation of over almost $7 billion. Yeah, $60 billion. His ministry on October 50, right? Now, before he made his statement, Young told committee chairman, Speaker Bridget Anissa George, he was just making sure that the mic was on. So you see, it's a joke. He just making sure that the mic was on. They brush it off. Don't care. You know what I mean? So pompous, so arrogant, so condescending that, I just making sure that filthy things came out of your mouth.
So you making sure the mic on and you have to talk all that type of nonsense?
No, but he wasn't talking about that incident. He's trying to make a joke when yesterday in front of the Standing Finance Committee, telling the committee chairman, Speaker, Bridget Anderson George, I'm just making sure my mic on, is a joke thing, which of course will be making reference to the vile and nasty statements that were said, right? He said that I can say now to the population of Trinidad and Tobago, between now and 2027, they will see direct foreign investment in Trinidad and Tobago in the energy sector of over US $10 billion. And that will also produce revenue for TNT. And then, of course, he spoke about Shell and what have you. He spoke about the vessel. And then, of course, he also spoke about this same aluminum deal that to me, I can't understand that. He added that the ministry officials were in the parliament chamber while he was speaking, but finance minister Com Imbert was not. Lee asked him about the 5 million allocation to Alutech, right, to Alutech. And Young said, as part of the government's diversification program, we are pursuing the Alutech investment. The company, he continued, has established a warehouse facility and obtained certain equipment to facilitate startup of this initiative, right? This is to cover wages. I want to repeat this. This is to cover wages, salaries, and other startup costs. Young added that government is the majority shareholder of this investment. So $5 million allocated to cover wages, salaries, and other startup costs. We're not talking about the fact that $5 million will, of course, start the production. So in other words, if there's any kinks, if there's anything that they have to work out, the process and what have you. So right, once they are booted out, of course, which of course they may be expected to be booted out, but they've already paid out these salaries, which of course is going to be the P&M cronies, right? Red to the dead people. And all we are going to be left with is, and that's the thing, anytime P&M is about to exit office, we always get stuck with some liability. If it's not the world gas to liquid, if it's not something, now we're going to see $5 million to cover wages. It's not the production, but whatever startup cost. And that's just the initial $5 million. They're breaking it down for us, but that's the reality. Because you want to divest, right? It's all part of the diversification economic program, but only $5 million. But you're giving $10 million to the EBC. So why didn't do it around? Why didn't get the $10 million to make sure that the diversification program is a priority and get the $5 million to the EBC? Is it that you have to pay more for these people over here to do some work behind closed doors that we are not supposed to see? And is it that you can openly now pay your lackeys, pay your cronies, pay your political mafia, and in broad daylight under the guise of some diversification program? These are questions that we have to ask, my friend. Who's on the outside?
Certainly. Oh boy.
It don't make sense. It don't add up. It don't add up at all.
Really don't.
Come on. Colin from Florida. I'd like to share my thoughts with you guys this morning. I strongly believe that Robert LaHunt will emerge as the PNM leader. Why? Well, if you go back a few years, he did renounce his Ghanaian citizenship to become a senator and a minister in Wassa. He was also employed, I think, Republic Bank, and then went to the IDB as a high-ranking official. And then he himself said he always keep abreast of all what's going on within the PNM. So I strongly believe that someone like Robert LaHunt may emerge as PNM leader. Believe it or not. Thanks, gentlemen.
I could do without that because it doesn't matter to me who emerge as leader. There should be no PNM after we do what we have to do. There should be none. Nothing to rise up from the ashes. Nothing. Just the mere mention of it should turn people's stomach and give them diarrhea and cold sweat. There should be none. Absolutely nothing. That whole thing about the PNM itself, their ideals, their political ideology has never been balanced. It has always been about them and themselves and their people. That is why their supporters could say, at the end of the day, I'm sticking with my own. In our country, as diverse as our country is, right? Multi-ethnic country, you always talking about your own and your own and your own. My God, Trinidad and Tobago doesn't belong to you. It doesn't belong to you and your own. PNM had to go.
No truth. Let me play next voice note there, boy. Oh boy.
Listen, they are always saying Camilla old, Camilla weak, Camilla should step down. But Camilla proved to them what woman power is all about. You understand? Regardless of of all these people in the party, when they all them was carrying on with the bacchanal, she called the internal election. The PNM was so delighted to be the B team and they meddling up and all kind of thing and making it look as if it have all this big set of bacchanal in the UNC. Rowley, call the internal election now. You hear? Camilla is a big woman. You stop being a coward. Stop being a little boy. All you in PNM like to meddle up in everybody's business and all your figure. All your turn. All you proving that all you are such a little girls. You understand? Call election now, call internal election now. Understand? Everybody just be talking and making bacchanal with the slightest thing in UNC. But when it's PNM, big bacchanal, everybody quiet. Hey, all you let me ring this like a bell. Let me ring this like a bell and deal with the PNM. Let me call for them to call the internal election now. You hear? Let them call it now.
Andy, good morning. Lennox, good morning. Mikey K, good morning. What I want to say is that those words that Stuart Young and Imbert used in Parliament, it has spread throughout the world. Even here in Canada, I was listening to a debate and where parliamentarians are saying, what nonsense is that? That these people talking about people in Parliament, that they have no respect and they have no manners for people. They ought to hide themselves. If that was like here that somebody had said so in Parliament, they would have been kicked out. You see?
And that is so truth, Mr. Ramnarayan.
See? And it's very unethical. That is very unethical. And I think that Young and Imbert should be suspended from Parliament. What is the PNM woman group saying? Especially that bald head one who rails up so much. Camille. What are Renuka Asagram saying? Eh? She's not a woman, she's a man. She has no voice to talk about what went on. Or she's afraid of Rowley and Rowley cronies. Anyhow, she's one of Rowley crony. She's one of Rowley bully. You understand? Andy, that's what I have to say this morning. Bye. Good morning, Andy. All these men in PNM government and party, they're meow. They can only talk bad about people in the opposition, but they can't talk bad about Rowley. Because they're afraid of Rowley. Rowley would hound them down.
Mikey, Lennox, Andy, with PNM should be like Christopher Columbus history. We just read about them. There's no more. That's what we should do. Get rid of the PNM and all that. Let it be like history. If that we do desire to write it in book.
Oh boy, that's it for voice note time check. Well, you can always still send your voice notes. It's a 10 minutes.
Yeah, we've got some time. Yeah, 10 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes to the hour. Folks, so let remind you, of course, later on this evening, yours truly, Mikey K, the
Oh boy. Not here in your Mikey. Just started over there. Nice.
There you go. I was just telling the folks, just to remind you, of course, before we close off, yours truly, Mikey K, 7 p.m. tonight, The Observer. You could also catch it on Real Media TT. That's right, our good friends on Gael at 7 p.m. And, of course, our very own Lennox Smith at 8 p.m. on social media with the Corridor Transformation. Very interesting. And we've got quite a lot in store for you. Our friend, of course, my brother is going to be out and about, Andy for Grandy, in these areas. And let's see what happens, man. Everything you need to know is going to be right here for the upcoming general elections. We have the Andy.
Oh, no one yet. But you go ahead, man. You go ahead. What else there in that papers?
All
there
right.
that, oh boy, that well, remember the now invited, eh? Wait, hold a minute. Go ahead, caller. Pleasant good morning to you. Welcome to the Ground Report. What's your contribution this morning on the Ground Report program? And Brown, yeah.
And Brown is it?
All on the live stream. My winning topic this morning is on the traits of a good leader. A good leader, like my leader, or our leader, Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisesa. One leader, one party. And the traits of a good leader is integrity, communication, empathy, vision, adaptability, decisiveness, inspiration, accountability, confidence, problem solving, and delegation. That is my leader. Now, when we have young people and we give young people a chance by selection and an opportunity to serve the people, and these same people turn out to be a disappointment, if their focus was not on service to begin with. We have to be careful. Like whenever people talking about, they don't give. We have so many young, brilliant, and dynamic people who stands up in that parliament and fight for us whenever they stand. I'm not going to call by name. Everybody know who they are. Who are the young people we have in our party? And now our focus should be on the EBC and not on all the noise and distraction that is going on. We have an election to win. We want to live better. Thank you, gentlemen, and have a great day.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams.
Well said. Well said.
Well said. So this evening we're going to have yours truly, Michael K, Mikey K on the Observers at 7. What else you have for us there, Mikey?
Yeah, well, Andy, this is quite interesting. Yeah? I mean, you hear so much of these things that are taking place. According to this, that bandits are posing as taxis in the airport. Hispanic bandits are posing as taxis in airport. Yes, a 36, according to a report here, a 36-year-old Tobagonian boarded an alleged taxi and sat in the rear seat at the Piarco International Airport shortly before midnight on Sunday the 13th, which is Sunday gone. He asked the Hispanic driver to take him to Chaguanas. There was another Hispanic male passenger seated in the front passenger seat. On reaching Kelly Village Main Road, Caroni, the front seat passenger turned around and pointed a gun at the Tobagonian, and both men proceeded to rob him of his TT passport, one iPhone, $8,000 in cash, and a quantity of clothing. I pull that from DJ's News. Yes, yeah. But my thing is, you didn't find something was strange. I mean, they now get here and you telling them where you want to go. I mean, and then there was another individual sitting in the passenger seat in front. I mean, are you conscious of what is happening? I mean, you're coming from Tobago. One would think that you have a clear idea with the fact that there's more than 25 murders so far on the Sister Isle. You must have seen the change in your very own Tobago culture. And then you come to Trinidad, and two Hispanic men, one the driver. I don't know if the next one was the navigator. He was, because maybe they didn't need GPS. He would have whatever the case may be. And you decided to just go and sit down in the back seat and for them to take you to Chaguanas. No, I don't know sometimes the story that
But now
from the
everybody's supposed
airport.
to know, unless you hire a vehicle at the airport, right? Most normal vehicle working at the airport will be carrying you to Five Rivers Junction, I think, out there. Be carrying you to a hub, a taxi.
No, he hired Jorge and Pedro to go to Chaguanas.
Okay.
So he live in Chaguanas, I guess he want to go to Chaguanas. So Jorge say, no problem. Pedro say, amigo, we take you. We take you far enough where we could pull a gun on you, rob you of your valuables, and just leave you there. Now, I am not going to condone criminal activity. This is not what I am about or the ground report. But sometimes these stories really make you wonder. Sometimes they could be hooking up to do some very sinful thing. It could be a P. Diddy session. You don't know. And so, with the embarrassment, they had to tell the police something. Was it a H car? Did you know the driver? Or perhaps the passenger? You see what's going on in Tobago, little Tobago. So you know, multiply that by about 100 in Trinidad. And you just jump in a car with two men, two Hispanic men. Look, this is something like the man who was on the TV show and he went for sandwiches and he said the MAGA people beat him up and all that. I don't understand that. You live in, from Tobago, you have family here. None of them couldn't pick you up. None of them, have you tell them you couldn't bring no banana ball or something, no sugar cake? Nobody want to pick you up from the airport. You just see Jorge and Pedro and you gone. In these times,
yeah, something in adding up with that, man.
Nah, you come up the place, handle it, and you go on with these people.
You rock him with $8,000 and clothes. Well, a set of clothes like he sell clothes.
iPhone and all of that, but he had a clothes because he come in to stay. That the man clothes.
Oh.
$8,000. You have $8,000 on you, and you jump in a car with two men. Something might be P. Diddy about this, I don't know. It could be a baby oil session. I don't know, but some of it don't make sense. Who's on the outside? We may have to come up, Guile, but we're still going to take a few calls here on Real Media TT. A lot of these things don't add up, Andy. Jorge and Pedro say, let me go. You jump in, no problem. See. You say, see. And at the end of the day, they Cinco your whole Quattro, and you have to wait on the side of the road now with nothing. Who's on the outside?
Oh boy. Boy, I done already lock off the calls to the outside, so it's just a rack up. It's 1 minute.
You lock them up there?
10 o'clock, yeah, boy.
You ready to go, boy? All right, folks. Until tomorrow, folks. We are here.
Time it for Gael to go with it. You know.
Yeah, listen. Just try to stay alive until tomorrow. Don't forget this evening, the Observer and Corridor Transformation. Observer at 7, Corridor Transformation on social media and at 8 p.m. Andy, it's been a pleasure. Lennox Smith had to step out, but until tomorrow, once again, please try and stay alive.
Yeah,
We are
so
out of
Trinidad
here.
and Tobago, after God family comes first, be safe on the nation's very roads. Remember, we have to add the tax. We have to stand up for something. For those of you in the Caribbean again, until tomorrow morning, please God, the #1 program in Trinidad and Tobago will be back on tomorrow, please God. We look forward to your contributions in the future. We are out of here.
All right, take care.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang.
twice. I don't tangle with Rachel Price. With a bag of question, she seeking attention, asking how come the granny is the same children nanny. It is more than annoyance, questioning my house allowance. So in Kaiso I'll tell you flat. Please tell Miss Rhoda Barrett, yes, tell she. My mother, she christened me Anthony Thomas Aquinas. My Calypso Subrique is the prophetess Sisyphus. I helped set up the ICC, passionate about TNT. Don't limit my contribution to rum, talk, or shake and no. I am a specialist in criminal justice. I have much more to offer.